The artificial turf about 3 yards in the end zone, bounced high in the air, and he wisely waited for it to come down. And it'll be an automatic touchback, of course. 1st and 10 for the New York Jets at the 20-yard line.
And a heads-up play out there on Stevens' part, but he was led out there, instructed what to do by Bruce Harper. Harper, of course, being the other receiving back along with Stevens.
Todd brings his ball club to the line of scrimmage. Flanking on the right side is Wes Walker. Split wide to the left side is Derek Gaffney. The backs are close together, and side by side, Kevin Long and Scott Durkin. Man in motion over to the right side. The handoff goes to Durkin, back to the weak side. He's hit back of the line of scrimmage and dropped for a 4-yard loss. Sherman White made the tackle on the play. A 4-yard loss on the play as Durkin started wide around his own left side, back to the weak side. And he was hit down hard by Lucius Stafford and Sherman White. A 4-yard loss on the very first play.
And one thing that Chris Ward is going to have to do is learn how Sherman White does play the game. He's not that big, but he's very elusive, very quick. He will give Ward some problems at first until Chris figures out how Sherman White plays the game at defensive end.
2nd and 14. Again, the regular pro set. Walker wide to the right side. Gaffney wide left. The handoff this time goes to Durkin. Runs up the 25-yard line as he picks up 9 on the play. A big hole open off his own right tackle. He was stopped by Mario Clark, defensive left cornerback for the Buffalo Bills. A quick opener off his own right tackle. The hole opened wide. Rasmussen leading the play. And he picked up 7 up to the 26-yard line.
Walt Michaels is very happy with the development of Marvin Powell. Last week, they got some good yards off the right side, and again, this week, they ran once to the left and once to the right, got big yards.
It's 3rd and 4 at the 26. Signals called by Todd. 3rd and 4 at the Jets, 26. He's back to pass. Sets up now. Looks to throw. Throws angling to the right side. It goes just up by Walker. Walker had it in his hands. It may have been deflected. Mario Clark may have deflected it at the last moment. Walker had it in his hands momentarily, about waist high, on a deep down and out pattern at the 45-yard line of the Bills, and it just slipped through.
In that passing situation, it was dropped. There was deflected. Whether it actually happened, I couldn't see myself. It was so close. But the pass protection was there. They can't get to the passer any better than they did that time. Richard Todd should have another good day throwing the football to his receivers.
Ramsey back to punt from his own 11-yard line. Keith Moody, a single safety, waiting back at his own 28. Waiting for the snap from the center. A long count. Now he gets the snap. Moves forward. A big rush put on. He gets the kick away, and it's a beauty. A high twisting spiral way up there. Coming down at the 22-yard line. Moody has it. Up to his left to the 30-yard line. Dances and dodges. But he's hit out of bounds at the near side at the 31-yard line. A beautiful punt. 52 yards by Ramsey. And a 9-yard return. The Buffalo Bills will have the ball 1st and 10 at their 31-yard line.
And with Chuck Knox, the head coach now with the Buffalo Bills, the special teams are performing quite well. Chuck Knox, of course, when he was with the New York Jets, handled a lot of the special teams, and he was a fine guy to get these special teams motivated, as is Walt Michaels. So you'll see the effort on both sides today, both the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets.
Joe Ferguson is starting at quarterback. Where's number 12? He's under the center now and calling signals. I formation of the backfield. Miller and Braxton, all the running backs. Signals called. The hand up to Miller, trying to swing wide around his own right side. He's got room. There's 35 to 40 to 45 along the far sideline, and he's bumped out of bounds, picking up 20 yards on the play. Bobby Jackson forced him out of bounds at the far side. Whatever happened to the defensive left end and the left cornerback?
Well, he was wiped out by Jim Braxton. Of course, the big fullback has size to go along with his running ability, and he wiped out completely. They wiped out Larry Pillar. They double-teamed and accepted corner for Miller to get around to the outside. A big 18-yard run.
It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills are starting smartly. No score in the football game. Joe DeLamielleure led that play beautifully. 1st and 10 at the 49. Flanker wide to the right side, split left end. The backs are now side by side instead of the eye. Joe Ferguson at quarterback and calling signals. He hands off to Miller again, trying to circle his own right end. Cuts upfield, goes for 5 yards more before he stopped. He's in Jet territory down to the Jets' 46-yard line, where Burgess Owens makes the play, helped out by Mike Hennigan. An off-tackle power smash. Instead of circling the end, he cut inside the end. Good for 5 yards. Jim Braxton leading the play.
And Braxton should know something about blocking for the running backs. He did it most of his life for O.J. Simpson up here at Buffalo. Now Simpson's no longer there. The guy replacing, of course, is Terry Miller, the number 1 draft choice. And Braxton still has the same job, blocking for the run.
No score in the football game. The Buffalo Bills look good on the opening series. 2nd and 5 at the 46-yard line. Signals being called by Ferguson. Takes the snap. Hands off to Braxton. Braxton hit back of the line of scrimmage and dropped. At about the 47, 48-yard line, Mike Hennigan and John Hennessy combined to stop him. A loss on the play back to the 48-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 7 at the 48-yard line. Make that the 47-yard line, so it's 3rd and 6 at the 47-yard line of the New York Jets. No score in the ball game as the Buffalo Bills are huddled up, break the huddle, led up to the line of scrimmage by their center, Willie Parker. Flanker goes wide to the right side, Frank Lewis. Larry Walton split wide to the left side. They're running back side by side of Miller and Braxton. 3rd and 6. Key play in this opening series. Back to pass is Ferguson. Sets up, has time. Now he's hit and he's up. And once again is Joe Klecko with a quarterback sack. He was down on the ground. He was blocked. And he just reached out and pulled down Joe Ferguson.
And Joe Klecko took Frank Jones, 250-pound third-year man out of Arkansas State, and Joe took him and threw him back beyond the quarterback and was falling down and grabbed a hold of Ferguson on his way down also. So a big sack for Joe Klecko, and as I said, he's in the right spot at the right time. Joe Klecko with another outstanding play from defensive end spot.
A 10-yard loss. Here's the punt now. The kick is an end-over-end kick and not too deep. Harper waiting for it. Gets it at the 18-yard line. Angles to his right. Comes up to the 20 to 25. And he's up down at the 26-yard line. Good coverage by those Buffalo Bills, as you pointed out. And Chuck Knox has these special teams playing good ball, and they covered well on that punt. A 37-yard punt, a 9-yard return.
And from what we can see, he's got the entire team playing well. They're a better, more aggressive football team than they were last year. Of course, it's turned in thus far. It's pretty tough. Both coaches playing it pretty close to the vest, and it's a tough-fought football game. But we should see something start to break as this quarter ends. Quarter develops.
It's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Midway through this first quarter, no appreciable advantage for either team. I formation of the backfield. Long in front of Durkin. Taking a handoff. Todd goes back to pass. Throws to the left side. It's almost intercepted. It was intended for G. Barkham. Almost intercepted by Doug Jones. He leaped high to his left for the ball. Had both hands on it. But as he came down, the ball jawed loose. Nobody hit him. And Jones missed an interception. And Richard Todd and the New York Jets got away lucky.
And whether they tried to do it or not, they got it done. The Buffalo Bills went into an odd-man defensive front. They overshifted that defensive line and left Marvin Powell man-on-man with Ben Williams. He could get no help. Ben Williams, another strong pass rusher. He was white. Gives the Buffalo Bills good strength upfield.
It's 2nd and 10 at the 26-yard line. A regular pro set. The backs are split. Todd goes back to pass on 2nd and 10. Sets up now to throw and does down the middle. It's deflected and dropped. Wes Walker had the ball momentarily, but as the ball got to him, so did 2 or 3 of the Buffalo Bills. Tony Green, safety man, deflected the ball as it got just about the time it got to Walker. The ball was hit by Tony Green. And there's a penalty marker down. Players are standing around. Apparently the penalty is against the New York Jets for holding, and we'll see whether or not they accept the penalty. Marvin Powell was the man, and they're accepting the penalty, so it's going to be 2nd and 20 back at the 16-yard line.
And no sooner did we say what a good pass rusher Ben Williams is, along with Sherman White, than Marvin Powell did get caught with the holding penalty. Got beat to the outside, tried to grab a hold of that jersey to slow him down so he wouldn't hit the quarterback, and got caught by the official.
It's 2nd and 10 at the 16-yard line. 5 defensive halfbacks in there now for the Buffalo Bills, and the Jets go into a double-wing formation. Kevin Long is the deep back. Todd takes it. Hands up to Long. Long, a trap play up the middle. He brings it under the crib of the hold, up to the 28-yard line, and he's stopped at the 28. He picked up 12 yards on that play, on a good, quick opener up the middle, crossing up that defense. As we mentioned, they'd gone to that 4-2-5 defense, switching from a 4-3-3 defense. 4-3-4 defense. You can't do very well with a 4-3-3. It's 3rd and 8. The ball at the 28-yard line. Signals being called. Richard Todd, quarterback again, the pro set. Looking right and left, his head swiveling back and forth. He does back to pass on 3rd and 8. Sets up, throws angling to the left side. It's caught out there by Long, but it's short of the first down marker. Kevin Long hit down at about the 29-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play out to the left flat. Tackle was made by Shane Nelson, the linebacker. Good coverage. Really good coverage by the Buffalo Bills. The Bills look sharp. And again, the New York Jets are forced to punt on 4th and 7 at their own 29.
And give them the credit, the Buffalo Bills. They are covering deep where Todd was able to go last week against the Miami Dolphins. He can't find the opening now. He can't find a man running wide open as he did last week. And he's forced to go at that time to his running back for no gain.
Chuck Ramsey back on his own 14-yard line. Keith Moody, a single safety. Long count again. Waiting for the snap. Goes back to Ramsey. He drives forward and boots that ball. It's another good one. A high, perfect spiral way up in the air. Nose comes down at the 27-yard line, taken by Moody. Moody drives to his right, and he's cut down almost immediately at the 37-yard line. Two good kicks by Ramsey, rather. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bills. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Larry Walton flanks wide to the right side. Frank Lewis split wide left to running back Jermaine Braxton and Miller. Signals called by Joe Ferguson. Ferguson takes it, and he hands off to Miller, who stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Miller went off his own left guard. A slow-developing play, stopped by Mike Hennigan. Didn't look particularly good on offense that time. Abdul Salam helping on the play. And that play, slow to develop, was a no-gainer.
And the Jets are using a lot of misformations out there as far as Joe Ferguson, the quarterback's concerned. They're faking the blitz, and then they're blitzing the linebackers. So he's not seeing the same thing twice. They're doing a good job of disguising their defense and doing a good job of getting after the Buffalo Bills.
Len Willis comes in at wide receiver, replacing Larry Walton. So Willis is wide out to the left side. Lewis flanked wide right. Signals called on 2nd and 10 at the 36. A quick screen out to the left side. It goes to Lewis. Lewis has blockers in front. He's hit at the 40-yard line, pulls away from one, and he's driven out of bounds to the near side at the 42-yard line. The play is good for about 6 yards. Tennessee knocked him out of bounds at the near side around the 41, 42-yard line. Let's see where they place it in bounds. But that was a quick screen out to Frank Lewis to the left side, and he had blockers for him. But Hennessy slipped through and made the tackle.
Excellent defense as far as the quick screen goes. They had the blockers out there, but the Jets pursued so well on defense that they kept the gain down to a minimum. It's just the pursuit and the aggressiveness that the Jets do have that enables them to make plays like that.
It's 3rd and 4 at the 42. No score in the football game. Signals called by Joe Ferguson. His backs remain the same. Braxton and Miller, 3rd and 4. Again, Ferguson back to pass, sets up, throws angling on the right side, and it's caught for the first down by Terry Miller at the 48-yard line. Greg Butler and Hennessy combined to stop him at the 48, but it was just past that first down marker, and Miller knew where that first down mark was. He went down about 8-9 yards and button hooked back, and the play picked up the first down.
And that makes Joe Ferguson 2 for 2, and the Jets have again given that deep drop on by the linebackers. They're completing the passes underneath them, as have the last two teams. The Miami Dolphins did it that way, and certainly the Philadelphia Eagles completed those passes underneath. They get yards, but they haven't hurt the Jets yet by throwing underneath the drop of the linebackers and the deep backs.
It's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. I formation in the backfield for the Buffalo Bills. They're on the Bills' 48. Handoff goes to Miller, trying to swing his own left end. He's chopped back there. He's hit back of the line of scrimmage and dropped hard. Bob Martin makes a super play well back of the line of scrimmage. An end sweep left, got no place at all, and stopped around the 43-yard line for a 5-yard loss.
And my boy Joe Kleckel's a little upset because the guard on that side, and the offensive guard is McKenzie, went out and tackled Joe. And a quick play to the left. They were pulling a tackle. The offensive tackle, Frank Jones, was pulling to lead that play, and McKenzie actually went and tackled Joe Kleckel. A bit upset, but good play out there. He was covered up very well by Bob Martin, the linebacker. So Joe, of course, playing the game very well from his defensive end spot, as is Martin from his linebacker.
It's 2nd and 15 at the Buffalo Bills' 43-yard line. Ferguson calls signals. Looking over the defense, takes it, hands off to Miller. A wide end sweeper on his own right side. He's tapped back there, tries to cut back to the left side, drives upfield, picks up 5, and he stopped near midfield. Burgess Owens stops the play. Good defense again by the Jets, stopping that wide sweep, but Miller cut back over the middle this time. He made a complete 360 and drove up to the 49-yard line as he picked up 6. Makes it 3rd and 9 at the 49.
He's pretty nifty, I tell you that. We'll give that credit to him because he did start to the right, and the Jets over-pursued. Their entire defense was over-pursued, over-committed, and he cut back against the grain and made the yards that way. Not where he was supposed to go, but on the cutback.
Here's that critical 3rd down play once again. It's 3rd and 8 at the 49-yard line. Signals being called. It's a motion on the offensive line. Big Joe Devlin, the offensive right tackle, raised up before the ball was snapped. Everyone could see it clearly, and so there'll be a 5-yard penalty enacted for illegal motion called against the Buffalo Bills. Ferguson back to pass, throws a screen pass to the left side to Miller. He's up to the 35 or 40-yard line, and he's down to the 41. Well shy of a first down, about 15 yards shy of the first down. And now the punting unit goes on the field. As they do, here are some scores. Finals, the Dallas Cowboys 34, the New York Giants 24. Final score, the Pittsburgh Steelers 21, Seattle Seahawks 10. In overtime, Cincinnati 10, the Cleveland Browns 10. Here the score is 0-0. Dalton Jackson waiting back on his own 26-yard line. Bruce Harper a single safety. A 10-man rush by the New York Jets. Here's the punt, and he gets it away end over end and quite short, coming down near the 30-yard line, bouncing back towards the Bills' goal line, and it's touchdown at the 34-yard line of the Jets. The Jets have fair field position at the 34-yard line, only a 29-yard punt.
And during that last timeout, we did see Bobby Jackson get up from the turf and run off the field under his own power, so he appears to be quite all right. Just shaking up a little bit from that big hit. Now, Bobby Jackson will come up from he's a small-type guy. He's only 170 pounds, but he gives it everything, and he did take a jarring jolt with the tight end Gant, but he's all right.
It's 1st and 10 for the Jets. The ball is on their 34. There's no score in the game. Kevin Long and Scott Durkin are the running backs. They're in I formation now. Richard Todd calling signals, takes the snap, a pitch out to Durkin, trying to swing around his own left end, and the linebacker, Lucius Sanford, pulls him down. Sanford came in again, untouched. Lucius Sanford, a rookie from Georgia Tech, was untouched as Durkin tried to swing wide around Sanford's side, and he made the tackle well back of the line of scrimmage around the 28-yard line.
And on that play, they want the fullback, Kevin Long, to block that outside linebacker, but he didn't get there. Sanford beat Long to the punch. They will take advantage of this as the game goes on. If he continues to fly across the line of scrimmage like that, the linebacker, the Jets will take advantage of it.
It's 2nd and 16 at the 28-yard line of the Jets. No score in the ball game. Todd looking right and left. Goes back to pass on 2nd and long. Sets up with plenty of time. Now he throws, angling to the right side, and it's knocked down. Incomplete. Intended for Derek Gaffney. Mario Clark got there in good time, covered well, and knocked it aside at the 45-yard line of the Jets. Good coverage by Mario Clark, left cornerback of the Buffalo Bills. And now there's a new offensive unit going in for the Jets in terms of the backs. See where Bruce Harper and Clark Gaines are in on 3rd and 16 at their own 28-yard line. Merv Coker comes out at middle linebacker, and Keith Moody goes in to put that same 4-2-5 defense in there, 5 defensive halfbacks. 3rd and long, 3rd and 16. Harper and Gaines are the running backs. At the Jets' 28-yard line, Todd calling, goes back to pass, setting up, has time, throws down the middle, and it's caught by Gaffney at the 38-yard line, and he's wrestled down right there at the 38. Play is good for 10, not enough, so it's 4th and 6 at the 38, and the Jets are forced to punt in this tough, well-played first quarter.
And with that nickel defense, there's no way Walt Michaels is going to check it out deep this early in the ballgame. He's not going to throw deep this early in the ballgame against 5 defensive backs. He's going to throw under as he did. The passing game of the New York Jets is not as precise, not as crisp as it was last week. They're going to have to get the passing game back to where they had it last week to be effective. They don't have a first down as yet.
That's right, they don't, with 4 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Chuck Ramsey back to punt. He's punted extremely well in his first 2 kicks. Gets the snap and center. Big rush. He gets it off. Gets it off a low kick bounty down near the 30-yard line of the Bills, and it rolls back towards the 32, 33-yard line where it's touchdown. The 2 cornerbacks coming in on that on that kick defense crossed in front of the kicker and almost got to that football. It was very, very close.
And they faked it. They were starting way back to help the guy receiving, but then they came up to the line of scrimmage and went late.
Bobby Jackson backed into the lineup at left cornerback for the New York Jets, and that's welcome news. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line, double wing formation, 1 deep back, and that's Jim Braxton. Rolling out to the left side is Joe Ferguson, looking to keep the ball himself, and again Joe Klecko has a quarterback sack again. Back to the 23, 24-yard line. Joe Klecko saw that play. How did he get back there that fast?
Marty, it's just a case of being in the right place at the right time, because they had a linebacker coming up inside him, so his first move when you got a linebacker blitzing inside is Joe has to take the outside, and the quarterback started sprinting out of the pocket, and Joe was right there to wrap those big arms around him, and he did it again.
It's 2nd and 18 as a result of the 8-yard loss incurred by the Bills as a result of Joe Klecko's heads-up play. 2nd and 18 at the 25-yard line of the Bills. Len Willis is in now at wide receiver, flank wide out to the right side. Frank Lewis split wide left. Running backs remain the same, Braxton and Miller. 2nd and long, and the handoff goes to Miller, trying to swing off right tackle. He goes up the middle, cuts to the right side. He picks up 8 yards before he stopped. 8 yards on the play, and that Miller is a good ball carrier, elusive, sharp cutting. A hard-driving 5'10", 193 pounds.
He doesn't run flat out, all-out speed when he's got the ball behind the line of scrimmage. He's much like O.J. He'll stop and sort of stutter step along to try and pick his spots. And then when he sees his spot, as he did that time over the right tackle, saw the natural hole open up, Miller shot forward, and that's what he does best, is change the speed. But he does follow his blocking and picks the holes well.
He's carried the ball 7 times thus far, good for 33 yards. It's a very neat total for 7 carries. It's 3rd and 11 at the 32 of the Buffalo Bills. Joe Ferguson, the quarterback, takes the snap. He's back to pass on 3rd and 11. Sets up. Throws on the right. It's short of the first down. Miller makes the grab, and he stops at the 38-yard line. John Hennessy made the tackle at the 38. It's 4 yards shy of the first down, and now the Buffalo Bills are going to be forced to punt. Dalton Jackson comes running into the lineup. Jackson, number 4, out of LSU and the Los Angeles Rams.
And along the way, we're going to see, as this game progresses, we're going to see the other 2 guys, either Salam or Pillars, start coming on the quarterback, because they've now changed their blocking techniques. They are double-teaming Klecko the entire time now, so we should free up somebody else to make the sack.
Bruce Harper, big rush by the Jets once more, and this is a good kick. A good kick by Jackson, way up in the air, and a fair catch is called by Bruce Harper. Sure-handed, he makes the grab, surrounded by Buffalo Bills at the 18-yard line. A 49-yard punt. And as important as the distance was the height on that one, because the Bills were able to get their forwards down around Bruce Harper as he made that catch. Off the Hess scoreboard, another final score is in. The Redskins 35, the Eagles 30. High-scoring games today, except here at Rich Stadium in Buffalo. 0-0, the Jets and the Bills. Jets ball, 1st and 10. Double wing formation on their 18-yard line. The handoff goes to Kevin Long. Drives off the right side. Bricks out on the collider's up to the 30, 32-yard line. He stopped at the 32. A brilliant run. 16 yards by Kevin Long.
And a good job of finding the hole. Kevin was going right over the center, right over Joe Field's block, and saw the play. Saw the offensive line collapse. The defensive left side took the hole to the outside. He almost broke it. He just about got between Gaffney down there, throwing a block for him. A big run by Kevin Long.
That's the first down for the New York Jets. And it brings the ball to the Jets' 32-yard line. No score in this first quarter. 2 minutes to go in the quarter. A handoff goes to Durkin. He pulls up the middle, goes over the 35 to the 36-yard line. 4 yards on the play as Merv Croker made the stop.
And I think Richard Todd wants to get things going for his Jet line. He's going up there, going on the first sound. In other words, the Jets go up and get in a 3-point stance right away, and the first sound out of his mouth sets him off. So they're trying to get the enthusiasm and the snap back into that offensive line.
The ball was placed down at the 37-yard line. Makes it 2nd and 5 at the 37. Durkin and Long are the running backs. Todd takes it, and he hands it to Long. He starts to the left side, goes to the right, pulls forward, and goes up to the 40-yard line. He picks up 3 yards after being stopped at the line of scrimmage. Shane Nelson and Lucius Sanford combined to stop him. Those are the 2 linebackers on either side. Merv Croker is in the middle. Instead of being stopped for no gain, he picked up 3 as he lunged and persisted in picking up that yard.
And unofficially, he has 38 yards and 4 carries, so he's running the ball as well as Terry Miller from the Buffalo Bills.
Short yardage unit in there now. Clark Gaines and Scott Durkin in there, along with Bob Raba. A tight wing T formation. 3rd and 2 at the 40. Todd calls signals, takes the snap. He gives up the game, swings wide. He makes the turn upfield. He's at 5. He's got 7, 8, 9 yards before he stopped at the 49-yard line. He needed 2 yards, and he picked up 8 or 9 as the ball is placed inbounds at the 48-yard line as an 8-yard gainer.
And when I see Mickey Schuler lined up with Chris Ward and Randy Rasmussen on that left side of that short yardage defense, I think that's where the ball is going to go. And obviously, Walt Michaels thinks, everybody thinks that. He went opposite. He came back to the right side. A good heads-up play by Richard Todd calling the signals.
54 seconds remain on the first quarter. No score in the ball game. A regular pro set. The running backs now are Long and Durkin. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Flanker wide to the right side is Gaffney. Walker split wide to the left side. Signals called by Todd. The backs are side by side and close together. Todd takes the snap. Back to pass. Has time. Throws down to the right side. Is caught by Gaffney at the 38-yard line. He's stopped immediately. A deep button hook pattern run by Derek Gaffney. Another first down at the 38-yard line as the play picks up 12.
And that's something he was unable to do the last time they threw the football. It was to come back to the ball. This time he made a very nifty move downfield and was able to come back to the football, and that helps his completion when he can come back and get the ball instead of waiting for it.
And the first quarter comes to an end with a first down for the New York Jets at the Bills' 38-yard line. That's the end of the first quarter in the score. The Jets nothing, the Bills nothing. With Dave Herman, this is Marty Glickman speaking to you from Buffalo. Going into the second quarter, no score in the ball game. Off the Hess scoreboard, a further score. In overtime, the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns are tied at 10. The finals already in today. Dallas over New York, 34-24. Washington over Philadelphia, 35-30. And Pittsburgh over Seattle, 21-10. A first quarter score, San Francisco 7, Chicago Bears 3. O.J. Simpson scored on a touchdown pass. Now it's 1st and 10 at the 38 of the Bills. The Jets in possession. The handoff to Durkin goes driving up the middle and goes for 8 yards before he's pulled down at the 30-yard line. A step to the left side and a smash up the middle inside his own left guard. Good blocking up front by Joe Fields, Randy Rasmussen, and Chris Ward leading the play. The ball placed down at the 31-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain. Phil Dokes made the tackle. It'll be 2nd and 3 at the 31. Good first down play for the New York Jets. A fine jet drive starting on their 18. They're now down to the Bills' 31. A regular pro set. Todd takes it. Hands off now to Durkee. He spills over the middle, goes down to the 29-yard line, picks up 2 as Lucius Sanford. Lucius Sanford and Phil Dokes combine to stop him. We've called Sanford's name quite a few times thus far. He's a rookie out of Georgia Tech. He wears number 57. He's 6'2" and a fairly light 217 pounds.
And the way those Bills linebackers are filling the holes, the way they're going for those running backs, I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Walt come up and try and use some play-action passes because he could control them. The way they're going for the football now, a fake would seem to open up that secondary for a play-action pass.
Short yardage offense is in there now for the New York Jets. It's 3rd and about 2 feet at the 29-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. Durkin and Gaines are the running backs. Signals called by Todd. He's looking back towards his backs. A tight wing T formation. Takes it. He hands off to Gaines. Gaines drives, goes close to the first down yardage, and he may be very close. He may or may not have made that one. Gaines started right, went up to the line of scrimmage, and they started slipping through at him. Defensive charge led by Shane Nelson and Ben Williams. And they may measure on this one. It's going to be very, very close. He had about 2 feet to go, and they indicate now it's going to be 4th and about a foot.
And they're very, very tough defense by the Buffalo Bills. They're playing almost 10 guys on the line of scrimmage. On that particular play, they certainly did. And it's tough sledding out there to try and block all those guys, try and blow them off the ball. The Jets are going to go for this first down with a 4th down, and we'll call it 1.
4th and 1. We mean 1 foot, not 1 yard. Durkin and Gaines on the running backs. Now it's nose-to-nose, head-to-head football. A tight wing T formation. Signals are being called. Durkin and Gaines, the runners. The handoff goes to Todd himself. He keeps it, and he goes in for the first down. A big pile-up, and Todd made it.
And found the gap between the center and Rasmussen, the left guard. Joe Fields and Rasmussen created a big hole out there. And with Todd, he has the option when he, as a quarterback, if he sees the hole over the right or he sees the hole over the left, he just takes the open area and gets the first down.
Richard Todd has to be well thought of by his ball club for calling that kind of a play. He put the pressure on himself. It's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line as Todd himself picked up that first down. Now Bruce Harper and Clark Gaines are the running backs. 1st and 10 at the 37 of the 27 of the Bills. Back to pass now as Todd sets up, throws angling on the left side, and it's intercepted. He may go all the way along the near side. It's Charles Rones. He's got blockers. He's down to the 30-yard line. Bruce Harper is chasing him down to the 10. He cuts back inside. Touchdown. 86 yards. Charlie Rones made the grab and ran it back down the near sideline. Cut back inside of Bruce Harper, who was chasing him, and he went into the goal line untouched.
And he went, Richard Todd went one time too often to get to break that and thread that needle. He tried to thread the needle to the outside. They got in trouble. He had a big, strong pass rush, and he threw the ball into the hands of the receiving guy, into the hand of the defender, and he had nothing but daylight ahead of him.
An 86-yard return of an intercepted pass. The Jets had the best drive of the day from their 18 down to the 27 of the Bills. And now they're down 6-0. Here's the point after attempt coming up right here. Bob Chandler will hold. Tom Dempsey will kick. Signals are being called at the right end of the stadium. Ball to snap, placed down and booted. It's up, and it's through there. The score on the Buffalo Bills 7, the New York Jets 0. Let's take a WOR sponsor break for Blue.
Here's important news for all parents who'll be sending a youngster to school this September. No shots, no school. Starting this September, all first-time students must show proof of immunization before they can enter New York City schools. There's a reason for it. Diseases like mumps, polio, rubella, diphtheria, and measles are still around. And if they strike your child, they could cripple, even kill. You don't want that to happen. Neither does Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York. So we're urging parents to have their children immunized now. Remember, no shots, no school. See your family doctor or go to your nearest city health department clinic where your child will be immunized free. For the address of your nearest city health department clinic, call 349-2664. No shots, no school. Call 349-2664 now. Have your child immunized free. A public service message from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York.
That pass by Richard Todd was poorly thrown. It wobbled. And Charlie Romes just stepped in behind the intended receiver wide to the left side and ran 86 yards for the touchdown untouched. The only man who had a shot at him was Bruce Harper, and he just sidestepped Harper by cutting back inside.
And thus far, the Jets have yet to get untracked. They're not playing that well at all. They're not playing the inspired football that they were last week. They're playing a very conservative type football, and they're not exceptionally aggressive.
Here's the kick by Dempsey. It's a floater coming down to Harper at the 5. He runs it up the angle of the right side of the 20, the 25-yard line, cuts to the middle, up to the 30, the 35-yard line, and he's down at about the 35, 36-yard line. Make that the 41-yard line. I'm sorry, I miscalled it. A good run back by Bruce Harper. Keith Moody made the tackle, and Harper puts the Jets back in a good field position at the 41-yard line.
And it seemed like Harper always runs the ball back well. He caught that ball. He wasn't in the air very long, had no hang time at all. The kickoff by Dempsey, and Harper took the ball almost in a dead run and got the Jets in great field position.
It's 1st and 10 for the Jets at the 41-yard line of the Jets. The Jets are down 7-0 to Buffalo, opening minutes of the second quarter. The handoff goes to Long, cuts inside his own left tackle, drives upfield, goes over the 45 to the 46-yard line as he picks up 5. Up to the 46. Sherman White stopped the play from his defensive right end position. It'll be 2nd and 5 at the 36.
And a good down for the New York Jets. Trying to get that first down working. They got it working that time. 2nd and 5 is a very good first down average. If you get the 5 yards of the first down, you're setting yourself up well for the next 2 downs.
Jets move to the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd and 5 at their 46-yard line. Jets trailing. Todd back to pass. Sets up. Throw swinging out to the right side, and it's incomplete. Penalty markers all over the place. Penalty markers are all over. Kevin Long was the intended receiver, and I think that Sherman White may have been roughing the passer.
I don't recall. Didn't see exactly what happened, but I see Sherman White pointing.
Yes, it is. It is roughing the passer. That's the signal being given by referee Pat Haggerty of the automatic first down called for the New York Jets.
And what I was going to say is that they're having a big battle out there between Chris Ward and Ben Williams. Ben Williams, of course, doing a fine job out there. Sherman White doing a fine job from his defensive end spot. And Ward has the duty of blocking him. He blocked him well enough that Sherman White didn't get there in time and hit Todd after the ball was thrown. And Todd actually threw the ball away.
15-yarder penalty.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 83.
It was Sherman White roughing the passer. As we said, the voice you heard was referee Pat Haggerty. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. The New York Jets are down by a score of 7-0. 11:45 to go in this first half. Plenty of time, of course, in this half as well as in the ball game. This game started late at 4 o'clock Eastern time. 1st and 10 at the 39 of the Buffalo Bills, and now the officials are discussing things one with the other. Don't know what it is. The head linesman talking with the referee, and they're coming over to the near side for the moment. And here's the explanation again. Here it is.
All right. On the previous play, we had 72 White holding, 83 offense, roughing the passer. He played over.
I'll be done. Well, I never saw that happen before in my life, I don't think.
That's rather unusual. Offsetting penalties, of course.
And that's what I thought the penalty was going to be for in the first place, with Chris Ford getting called for holding. But I never saw him mark off the distance and have the ball club on the line of scrimmage, and then somebody said, well, I forgot to mention the other penalty. I never saw that happen.
They actually, as you pointed out, had marked it off. The ball was down at the 39-yard line. Now it's brought out to the 46-yard line of the Jets. It was down on the Buffalo Bills 39. Now it's at the Jets 46. And they're still talking out there. I see Randy Rasmussen talking with the referee. Two other officials standing by. And the Buffalo Bills are all around. Randy's the only Jet out there right now.
And he's the captain. He's the one that belongs in that discussion. And, of course, Richard Todd. And on any given football team, your quarterback and your elected captain are the guys that work in these situations.
Incidentally, instead of it being an automatic first down because of the roughing the passer penalty, it's going to be second down again because offsetting penalties nullify the last play. So it'll be second down once again. It should be 2nd and 5 at the 46.
And now the referee is going over to the phone. I think there's an official here from the National Football League, and he's going to talk to somebody upstairs here from the officiating department of the National Football League.
Well, as a result of all the discussion and talk about instant replays being used by officials and the second guessing of the officials, this is the kind of thing that can happen. This kind of delay can take place when you have too many people officiating a ball game. It used to be in the so-called good old days, pardon the phrase, that the official ruled the ball game. If he thought that's what it was, that's what it is. Like the ancient Bill Clem once said, it ain't nothing till I call it. And that's true. He was a baseball umpire many years ago. It's neither a ball nor a strike, neither out nor safe until he calls it. But now there's discussion going on all over the place, and maybe we'll get the announcement from the referee once again, Pat Haggerty, as to what is going to take place here. They're running around on the field. The officials are realigning themselves, indicating second down by Pat Haggerty. The ball is at just over the 45. We'll call it the 46 because the nose of the football is closer. So it's second down coming up, 2nd and 5 at the 46. 2nd and 5 at the 46. Now play is about to be resumed. At the 46-yard line of the Jets. The handoff goes to Kevin Long. Long goes up the middle, picks up a couple of yards, and that's all. Up to about the 48-yard line, and he stopped there, maybe the 47. Shane Nelson again led that defensive charge, and the Jets are looking just a little bit sluggish. It'll be 3rd and 4 at the 47.
And still trying to check the strength of that defense. That middle has been the strength of the Buffalo Bills defense. They shift the two defensive tackle, Hardison and Doak, back and forth. They put them man on the guards, and then they'll put one over the center. So they're shifting them around, those two defensive tackles, making it a tougher defense to run against. Mickey Shula comes into the lineup, replacing Wes Walker. It's 3rd and 4 at the 47. It's the short yardage offense, but it's 3rd and 2, I see now. 3rd and 2. Signals being called. Tight wing T formation on the left side. The handoff goes to Durkin. He drives at the middle. He doesn't make it. He goes off his own right guard. He is stopped by Phil Dokes. Durkin smashing off his own right guard. Just did not make it. He made a yard. That's all. It'll be 4th and 1 at the 48. And this Buffalo crowd is really roaring for their team. And the Buffalo crowd loves a winner. They love a football team when it's winning as much as they do not like them when they're losing. And Buffalo is playing inspired football now. They're doing things well because they're inspired. They're playing very, very aggressive.
Chuck Ramsey ready to punt once again from his own 33-yard line. He's averaged 42 yards thus far on his first two punts. A 52-yarder, a 45-yarder, and a 29-yarder. There's the kick now, high and fairly deep, coming down at the 15-yard line. Taken by Keith Moody. He starts right, changes, goes left, trying to swing wide, running along the 15-yard line, and he's down right on the 15. Good play by Mark Merrill, the linebacker for the New York Jets. A 30-yard punt, 38-yard punt, and only a 1-yard return on good coverage by the New York Jets special team. And now time is called. With 10 minutes and 8 seconds remaining, the score. The New York Jets, nothing. The Buffalo Bills, 7. Let's take a Blue Ribbon sponsor break and taste the difference quality makes.
Well, I'm leaving now. Don't need no reservation. Got no hesitation. Got blue ribbon on my mind. Gonna pass right by all those other places. Look for friendly faces. Got blue ribbon on my mind. I've got that blue ribbon on my mind. More and more lately I find I got a taste for living. I'm thinking for blue ribbon. I've got that blue ribbon on my mind.
Naturally good Pabst. America's premium beer since 1844. Pabst. A lot to look forward to.
Brewed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and other fine cities.
10 minutes and 8 seconds remain in the first half. The Bills lead 7-0. I formation on the backfield, 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Handed to Terry Miller. He drives up right tackle, cuts out to the outside. Has a good run, goes up to the 25-yard line, and he stopped there. He picks up almost 10 on the play. Bobby Jackson finally made the tackle. A simple off-tackle smash converted by Terry Miller into a 9-yard gain, maybe 10 on the play. It looks as though they're going to measure on this one.
But what they're doing is delaying Miller. He's not smashing in there right away. He's not diving in there. He's sort of running around the backfield, and this time he made his move not perpendicular, but parallel to the line of scrimmage until he saw the hole. So they're using his abilities to find that hole, and then he turns on that speed.
The measurement was just made, and it is a first down for Terry Miller and the Buffalo Bills. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. And now Dennis Johnson, the rookie we told you about earlier on the broadcast. Dennis Johnson, a rookie from Mississippi State, is in at fullback replacing Jim Braxton. Johnson wears number 39. Terry Miller wears number 40. These two rookies, perhaps the Buffalo Bills' future backfield. Well, the present backfield as of right now. Joe Ferguson at quarterback. The Bills lead 7-0. 1st and 10 on the Bills' 26-yard line. A regular pro set. Signals called. Back to pass is Ferguson. A quick one over the middle again. Again gets it to 35, drives up to the 38-yard line. Down by Schaefer Suggs. Just a quick raise up and throw to the tight end. Cutting over the middle. And it's good for good yardage. Another first down for the Buffalo Bills on 2 plays. They go from their 15-yard line to their 38-yard line.
And Buffalo playing heads up. Caught the Jets in a blitz. Now, whether that was a play designed that they had called from the onset or whether he changed his mind and threw an automatic play, I don't know, but it certainly worked. The tight end going to where the inside blitzing linebackers were. The Cleveland Browns beat the Cincinnati Bengals in overtime, 13-10. Their second straight win for Sam Matigliano. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line of the Bills. Back to pass now. Another quick one right again. The same play. Up to the midfield line. He fumbles the ball. It's loose, rolling around. Recovered by the Bills for an 8-yard gain after the recovery of the fumble. The fumble resulted in an 8-yard gain. The recovery made by Frank Lewis, the end, who was down on the ground, and the ball rolled to him after Gant fumbled it. And that's what happens when you play enthusiastic football. Things happen good for you. And certainly it did that time for the Buffalo Bills. Grant was on the ground, and the ball rolled right to him. However, they took advantage of that blitz again. That blitz where the 2 inside linebackers come, and they had their tight end going the same pass route as he caught the play before.
So far, Joe Ferguson is 6 for 6 for 48 yards. It's 1st and 10 at the Jets' 43-yard line. Signals called by Ferguson. He takes it, and he hands up to the fullback, Dennis Johnson, trying to swing wide. He cuts off upfield, but he's hit down hard for no gain. Larry Piller's the man who hit him down very hard as they went shoulder to shoulder and belted each other to the ground at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line. The first time we've seen this Dennis Johnson carry the football.
And the big play was made not only by Pillars, but by Greg Buttle from his outside linebacker spot. Miller was trying to block on him, and Greg Buttle, with his strength, almost threw Miller back into the running back, right into his lap, the running back being Johnson. So a good play by both people out there on the left side, Pillars and Buttle. Larry Walton splits wide out to the left side. Frank Lewis flank wide right. It's 2nd and 10 at the Jets' 43. I formation on the backfield. Johnson in front of Miller. Ferguson takes the snap. Hands off to Miller. Miller hit back of the line of scrimmage and dropped. Greg Buttle makes a fine tackle back of the line of scrimmage for a 5-yard loss. Back to the 47-yard line. It's a 4-yard loss on the play. So it's 3rd and 14 at the 47 of the Jets. The Buffalo Bills lead 7-0. 7 minutes remain in the first half. And they tried to take advantage of the strong play dropped by Greg Buttle, and they pulled the left guard, McKenzie, to trap Buttle. But Buttle broke the trap and made the play all by himself. It's a super job out there by Greg Buttle.
Off the Hess scoreboard, we see where the Green Bay Packers have defeated the New Orleans Saints. Green Bay 28, New Orleans 17. It's 3rd and 14 at the Jets' 47. Buffalo with the ball. Ferguson with a long count. Now he goes back on 3rd and long, setting up plenty of time, and he throws angling on the left side. It's caught by Gant at the 20-yard line, down to the 15. A fumble, a loose ball, recovered by the Jets. The Jets have the recovery, but the play was blown dead. The play was blown dead, and it's Buffalo ball at the Jets' 13, and a penalty marker was down at the same time, way back upfield. Holding called against the Buffalo Bills. So that whole play is nullified. Gant made a fine catch, fumbled the ball again, recovered by the Jets. However, the fumble was nullified because it was blown dead, and the whole play is nullified because of a holding penalty.
I don't know who they're going to call it on. They're going to call it on either McKenzie or Jones. They were double teaming Joe Klecko. As I said, Klecko was in the right space at the right time. he got the holding penalty and then enabled the Jets to nullify that play. That was a big play by Joe Ferguson and his tight end, but it was nullified due to the holding penalty.
Here's Lou Picone running into the lineup, the former New York Jet, wide receiver, short, chubby man.
Holding, number 73, offense.
That's referee Pat Haggerty's voice. Number 73 was holding on offense. That's Ken Jones, offensive left tackle. So it's 3rd and 24. The ball back at the 43-yard line of the Buffalo Bills now. 3rd and 24, and Lou Picone is in the lineup. He scored a touchdown against the Jets here last year. He splits wide out to the left side, Picone does, and Frank Lewis is flanked wide right. Running backs are Dennis Johnson and Terry Miller, a pair of rookies. 3rd and very long. Signal's called. Ferguson back to pass, setting up. Looking downfield, starts to with the ball. Looks to his right, now he throws long. Way downfield for Lewis. Way down. It's incomplete at the goal line. Incomplete. That's some type pattern that the Buffalo Bills ran. They both ran together. Both wide receivers, Lewis and Picone, ran right smack dab into each other. That's a pattern that was broken. They're discussing it as they come off the field now that somebody ran the wrong route. But both guys run into each other, and there was no chance of making a reception at all. So it'll be 4th and 24 at the 43 of the Bills. Punt formation with Rusty Jackson back in a punt. Standing back around his own 27, 28-yard line, and Bruce Harper waits for it at the 18 of the Jets. 7-0, the Buffalo Bills lead. The skies have now become gray here in Buffalo. Here's the kick. High in the air, way up there. Taken to the 20-yard line. Up the middle comes Harper. Cuts to the right side. Hit. Cuts back to the left side, up to the 30. Keeps his feet and drives up to the 36-yard line. Boy, that Bruce Harper is really something. He was hit high around the shoulders and shrugged off that tackler. Started to the far side, cut up to the left, and finally was stopped at the 36-yard line. A 37-yard punt, a 16-yard return. Now time has been called. The score, the Buffalo Bills 7, the New York Jets nothing. Let's take a 60-second sponsor break for Hess Quality Gasoline and Service.
Hess is busy drilling oil to keep the people shut. But we take the time to say hello to you. Giant Hess refineries and huge Hess tankers. But you like us for the little things we do. We do your windows front and rear and get your headlights clean. Lift your hood and treat you good, serve quality gasoline. We've got lots of trucks, great big tanks and miles of pipeline too. But you like us for the little things. Yes, you like us for the little things we do.
The Hess people believe that being big is no reason to forget about the little things. All those little extra services and courtesies that make us distinctively different. Tune into a sparkling, clean Hess station for Hess quality gasoline. You'll find we give quality service, too.
Hess is quality and courtesy and common too for you. Hess is very big on little things. Yes, you like us for the little things we do.
Jets ball, 1st and 10 on their 36-yard line. The New York Jets are trailing 7-0. 5 minutes and 59 seconds to go in this first half. Richard Todd at quarterback, as he has been all day. Takes the snap, goes straight back to pass on 1st down. Sets up, throws deep, way down the middle, way down for G. Barkham. And it's deflected, incomplete at the 20-yard line of the Bills. Barkham was nicely covered by Doug Jones.
And Barkham did a whale of a job out there preventing that interception. Saw the ball was thrown underneath him. Had the ball been thrown on target, he might have had a chance to get it, but he didn't. The ball was thrown underneath him, and Barkham reached over the top of Jones and batted the ball away to keep it from being intercepted.
Off the Hess scoreboard, another final score. Houston 20, Kansas City Chiefs 17. We'll run down all these finals when we have the opportunity for you. Here's the second period score. Miami Dolphins 14, Baltimore Colts nothing. Now the Jets break the huddle and go to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line of the Jets. Jets trailing the ball game 7-0. Flanker wide to the right side is Wes Walker. Split left end is Derek Gaffney. High formation in the backfield. Todd looking right and left, takes the snap. Hands off to Bruce Harper. Harper hit at the line of scrimmage and stopped. A yard gain, that's all. Sherman White made the stop at the 37-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 9 at the 37 of the Jets.
And that's Sherman White, along with Ben Williams, playing very fine football from the defensive end spot. They're controlling our offensive tackle now. The offensive tackle of the Jets, who are Ward and Powell. They're not doing that well against those two defensive ends.
And again, the Bills go into that 4-2-5 defense. 5 halfbacks in there now with Keith Moody joining Mario Clark, Doug Jones, Tony Green, and Charlie Romes. Romes the man around with that 86-yard interception for the only score of the ball game. It's 3rd and 9 at the 37 of the Bills. Todd takes the snap. He's back to pass. Setting up with time. Looks to throw and does. Over to the side. And it's almost intercepted again, but dropped. Intended for G. Barkham. And Doug Jones had both hands on the ball at the Jets' 40-yard line. And all he had to do was catch it and run straight down the sideline 40 yards for a score. And the Jets would have been down by 2 touchdowns.
Richard Todd is not throwing the football well, as obvious by his stats, 3 for 9, but he's really throwing underneath his receivers. He's not getting the ball out there, not leading them properly at all.
Chuck Ramsey back on the punt once again for the Jets. 5 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the half. And the Buffalo Bills lead 7-0. Keith Moody, single safety back there. No, that's not Moody. It's Mike. We'll try to pick him out for you in a moment. Wearing an 80 number. We can only see part of that number. Moody has been fielding punts, but not this time. Ramsey ready to kick, though, from his own 21. The Buffalo receiver standing back at his own 25, going further back for it, way back to the 15-yard line, and he takes it to the 15 as Levenseller. Levenseller up to the 20, the 25, and down to the 30-yard line. Nice run back by Levenseller. That's Mike Levenseller, a rookie from Washington State. He's a wide receiver. A 42-yard punt, a 14-yard return by Mike Levenseller. Now with 4 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in this first half, time is called, and the score, Buffalo 7, New York nothing. Let's take a sponsor break for Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York.
How would you like to learn how to choose a doctor for you and your family? How to find the right medical facility? What to do in a medical emergency? Right now, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York is offering you a chance to learn how in a new 270-page book called Take Care of Yourself, A Consumer's Guide to Medical Care. It even helps you diagnose 68 of the most common medical problems with step-by-step instructions on how you can treat them at home. At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York, we believe that by becoming a wiser, more concerned healthcare consumer, you can help contain costs. So, as a public service, they're offering you this book at cost. Get your copy now by sending your name, address, and check or money order for $2 to Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York, Post Office Box 4430, Grand Central Station, New York, New York, 10017. That's Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York, Post Office Box 4430, Grand Central Station, New York, New York, 10017.
Our coverage of this Jets-Bills game this afternoon over WOR New York is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York, Datsun Cars and Trucks, European American Bank, by Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer and Hess Quality Gasoline. 1st and 10 on the Bills' 29-yard line. Joe Ferguson takes the handoff, gives to Miller. Miller dives up right tackle, goes for 2 up to the 31, and he's stopped there by Abdul Salam, the middle guard for the New York Jets.
And the Jets are doing pretty well on defense. They're not as crisp as they were last week, but they're doing a fine job out there containing the Buffalo offense, excepting for the one play which was called back by a holding penalty. The Buffalo Bills haven't done that much with their offense. It's the Jets' offense that has yet to get on track. Big difference in the ball game, of course, that 86-yard run back of an intercepted pass by Charlie Romes, pass thrown by Richard Todd. It's 2nd and 8 at the 31. Len Willis flank wide out to the left side. Frank Lewis split wide right. Signals called. 2nd and 8. Back to pass. Ferguson, a quick square out to the right side, and it's caught by Lewis, who steps out of bounds at the 36, 37-yard line. The play is good for about 7-8 yards. It's still shy of the first down by about 2. It'll be 3rd and 2. The ball at the 36-yard line, a 5-yard gain on the last play. And one thing Joe Ferguson could do and can do and always has been able to do is throw that quick out. He's got a real strong arm. To throw the quick out like that, you need a strong arm, and Joe Ferguson certainly has one.
The defense is ahead of the offense. Total offense so far in the ball game, Bills 91 yards, Jets 84 yards. It's been that tight a ball game except for that one pass interception. It's 3rd and 2 at the 36 of the Bills. Bills in possession. They lead 7-0. Back to pass is Ferguson on 3rd and 2. He sets up and looks to throw it to the left side, and it's incomplete. Intended for Terry Miller. It's too low. He went down on the ground for it, but it was incomplete. Penalty marker is thrown down. Holding called against the Bills, and the Jets will probably refuse that penalty.
And I don't think I've ever seen so many holding penalties as I have this year. As that penalty there was going to be called on McKenzie, Reggie McKenzie, a 7-year pro.
73, offense, holding, decline, 4th down.
It was Ken Jones, number 73, and it was Reggie McKenzie who was arguing vehemently on it.
I gave it to the wrong guy. It was Ken Jones holding again as he's blocking against Joe Klecko. So that's at least 2 penalties that Joe Klecko has gotten thus far today.
It's 4th and 2 at the 36. And they're in punt formation with Rusty Jackson standing back on his own 21-yard line. Bruce Harper, a single safety. The Jets again with a 10-man rush. Here it comes. Here's the kick, and he gets it away. A low kick, fairly short. Coming down at the 40-yard line, bouncing back towards the Bills, and goes down at the 45-yard line of the Jets. A very low, bad kick by Jackson. A 19-yard punt. That's not good, and time is called with 3:59 remaining in this first half. The score, the Bills 7, the Jets nothing. Let's go to the sponsors bank and hear from European American.
Think about this. If you run a small business, European American Bank has a way you can have money instantly. Money to use for whatever your business needs, whenever you need it. It's called European American Bank's Small Business Credit Account, and you don't have to be an EAB customer to get it. Qualify, and you can get a line of credit from $5,000 to $25,000. It's money you can use instantly for inventory, expansion, seasonal needs. Once you qualify, there's no waiting for bank approval when you need money, and no lost profit opportunities because you didn't have enough money available. You just write a business credit account check. And when you have EAB's Small Business Credit Account, you only pay for the credit you use. You can also pay back any time or take up to 60 months. So come into any of EAB's 97 branches, and we'll explain how the business credit account can put money in your hands when you need it. The Small Business Credit Account at European American Bank. Think about it. Member FDIC.
Jets have good field position. They've had good field position several times during the course of this ball game, but have never been able to mount a concerted drive except one, and that one wound up with that 86-yard interception. It's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line of the Jets. As we say, good field position. The running backs now are Gaines and Harper. Todd takes the snapback, gives off to Gaines. Gaines hit back of the line of scrimmage and wrestled down. Hit down hard on the play. Obviously no gain. Phil Dokes made the tackle back of the line of scrimmage at the 43 for a 2-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 12 at the 43 of the Jets.
And something we haven't seen is that defensive line controlling the Jets' offensive line. Up until this game, the Jets' offensive line, when they're in there as a unit, have performed very well, opening the holes for the run, but not this far today. 2nd and 12 at the 43 of the Jets. The Jets are down by a score of 7-0. It's becoming fairly heavily overcast. The breeze is picking up. I expect some rain before the end of the game. Back to pass goes Todd. Sets up now. Throws out to the right side. It's caught for a first down at the 42. And down at the 39-yard line, Derek Gaffney goes. Fine play by Derek Gaffney, that good rookie from Florida. Went deep downfield, curled back once again, and came back. He was pinned down at the 40-yard line by Tony Green. Play was good for 17 yards on that first down. And that's the first indication we've had of the precision passing that Richard Todd can do with his receivers. They found the open area, the dead area of the zone, and hit it automatically. It was a good play by both Todd and Gaffney.
And now Gaffney gets the breather. Bobby Jones, flanker, wide out to the right side. Split left end is Wes Walker. Man in motion. Hand up to Harper. Harper goes around his own right end, cuts upfield, drives up just 10 yards, and he's down at about the 29-yard line. Boy, that Bruce Harper really cuts hard. He's beginning to be a hard-driving will-o'-the-wisp. Bruce Harper. Murph Coker made the tackle, but Harper at 5'8", 182 pounds, is beginning to drive very well off those slashing cuts of his, those slashing runs. Here's Gaffney coming back into the lineup.
And Harper can make things happen, not only in punt and kickoff return, but certainly from that running back spot. He's coming out of the wing and running and finding the daylight and cutting up inside, much the same that Terry Miller does for the Buffalo Bills.
It's 1st and 10 at the 29 of the Buffalo Bills. Jets trailing 7-0. Signals called. A pro set. Back side by side. Hand up to Humphrey. Drives to the middle. Goes for a yard. And that's only thrown back by Phil Dokes again. Dokes, second-year man. Number 85. He's 6'5", 255 pounds. Played at Oklahoma State. We're coming up to the 2-minute warning. And that's the warning right now. So at the 2-minute warning here at Rich Stadium, the score is Buffalo 7. The Jets nothing. Let's give 60 seconds to one of our sponsors.
Why are car shoppers everywhere deciding on Datsun? Listen to Jerry and Janet Horn.
We're just out of college, and price is a very big factor for us. We're trying to budget ourselves, and this fit right in with what we wanted.
Well, as recent college graduates, how would you rate Datsun quality?
Give it an A. Oh, give it an A.
Matthew Sack, how do you like your new 510 wagon?
I still enjoy performance and handling. And for a station wagon, it's terrific.
Anything else, Matt?
The price was right, and the economy is right.
Bob Picard, what does "We Are Driven" mean to you and your new Datsun 810?
They push themselves to develop a quality automobile. They're after high quality.
and high performance.
Hurry in today and get a year-end deal on famous Datsun quality. We are dealing.
Right now, your Datsun dealer is making super deals on the Super Datsun 810. Choose from sedan or wagon and a wide variety of colors. Hurry, Datsun prices may never be lower.
The Yankees have swept the Red Sox. Final score this afternoon, the Yankees 7, the Red Sox 4. The Yanks and the Red Sox are now tied for first place. It's 2nd and 9 at the 28-yard line of the Bills. The Jets in possession, 2nd and 9. Signals called. Gaffney back in the lineup with Wes Walker. Handoff goes to Harper, swinging wide around his own right side. Makes the cut upfield, drives downfield, goes for 8, 9 yards. And he's very close to the first down marker. It's going to be 3rd and about 1 at the 21-yard line. Another slashing run by Bruce Harper. The ball is placed down, however, at the 22-yard line. That makes it 3rd and 2 at the 22-yard line. And here's a critical play once again.
And a big down for the New York Jets. They want to get on the scoreboard before they go in at halftime.
Scoreboard shows 1 minute and 31 seconds remaining in this first half. The Jets are down 7-0. 3rd and 2. Todd at quarterback. Back to pass. Setting up. Looking to throw deep. He throws short. It's good for the first down at the 15-yard line. Bruce Harper makes the grab. And you say that Bruce makes things happen? He sure does. He's been responsible for this drive. From the Jets 45, now down to the Bills 15-yard line. First down for New York.
And a big play out there. Now the Jets are calling timeout to have Richard Todd go over to the bench and talk to Coach Walt Michaels.
The score, the Bills 7, the Jets nothing. Let's take a 60-second sponsor break for Hess. Quality gasoline and service.
At Hess we serve you gasoline and keep our station sparkling clean.
But we take the time to say hello to you.
We polish everything in sight, at Hess we keep it clean and bright.
So you like us for the little things we do.
We clean your windows front and rear and do your headlights too. Check your oil and battery, at Hess we follow through. Hess is quality and courtesy and doing things for you. Hess is very big on little things. Yes, you like us for the little things we do.
When you drive into a Hess station, you not only get quality gasoline, you get quality service. We're not just glad to see you, we're glad to help you. Come into one of our sparkling clean Hess gasoline stations and see for yourself how well we do all the little things at Hess.
Yes, the men who serve Hess gasoline are happy serving you. Hess is very big on little things. Yes, you like us for the little things we do.
69 seconds to go in this first half. The Jets are down by a score of 7-0. They have a first down, however, on the Bills' 15-yard line. They still have 2 timeouts left to them. The Jets are huddled up, waiting now for the referee's whistle to get started once again. 1st and 10 at the 15 of the Buffalo Bills. It's getting grayer and grayer, almost by the minute now, here in Buffalo. And now the Jets move to the line of scrimmage. Flanker wide out to the left side is Derek Gaffney. Split wide right, or 3 yards right, Wes Walker. Running backs are Gaines and Harper. Signals called. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Todd back to pass on first down. Sets up. Looks into the end zone. Throws into the corner. And it's deflected high in the air. Touchdown! Touchdown! He grabbed it. A deflected pass by G. Barkham. He grabbed the end zone. It should have been intercepted by either Mario Clark or Doug Jones. Both men had their hands on it. Both men batted the ball 5 yards away, and G. Barkham dove for it. A sure interception. 2 men around that football. It's batted high in the air, and there's Barkham diving for it for the touchdown.
And Barkham making another heads-up play. The sure hands that Barkham has enabled him, and the concentration enabled him to catch that ball after the deflection. A ball that was not well thrown. They shouldn't have thrown into that double coverage in the first place, but when you make it work like that, you can't say don't do it, but I wouldn't try it again.
Matt Robinson, the hole for Pat Leahy to try to tie it up. The snap, the kick is up, and it's good, and it's all tied. The score, the Jets 7, the Bills 7. Let's take a Blue Ribbon sponsor break and taste the difference quality makes.
Yeah, I'm leaving now. Don't need no reservation. Got no hesitation. Got the ribbon on my mind. I'm gonna pass right by all those other places. Look for friendly faces. Got the ribbon on my mind. I've got that blue ribbon on my mind.
really good Pabst. America's premium beer since 1844. Pabst, a lot to look forward to.
Brewed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and other fine cities.
55 yards in 7 plays and a little luck. And the Jets have tied the ball game at 7. Pat Leahy ready to throw that football, and he does. Boots it high and not too deep. Curtis Brown comes in at the 10-yard line, runs up the middle of the 20 to 25, hit hard and down at the 26. Straight up the middle came Curtis Brown, second-year man, and Bob Braver was the man who almost cut him in half. You could see him running up the middle, and suddenly he was bent over double and going down to the deck because right in the middle, right around the gut, came Bob Braver. Ball placed down at the 26-yard line where it's 1st and 10 at the 26, and there are 58 seconds to go in this first half.
Last week it was G. Barkham who was getting most of the double coverage. This week it's outside receiver that are getting the double coverage, and Barkham throughout the ball game has been open quite a bit, except on that last play where they had him doubled, and Richard threw it anyhow, and a big play by Jerome Barkham.
It's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Mike Frankowiak in at tight end now, replacing Reuben Gant. Just 58 seconds to go in the half. Again, Ferguson back to pass, looking to throw long, and he does down the middle and deep. It's deflected up in the air and incomplete. In and out of the hands of the tight end, Mike Frankowiak. He had it right in his hands, and they sort of almost seemed to bat it away. He didn't seem to want it. Hennessy and Suggs were there, but he had the ball in his hands and just kind of batted it away.
And a nice throw by the quarterback, Joe Ferguson. It actually did hit him and went right through his hand and hit his shoulder pads and bounced right up in the air. So Ferguson got the ball there as Frankowiak couldn't put the hands on it.
And Frankowiak comes out of the lineup now, replaced once again by the starting tight end, Reuben Gant. So it's 2nd and 10 at the 26 of the Buffalo Bills. 51 seconds to go in this first half. The New York Jets and the Bills now tied at 7 at halftime. We'll have George Young, director of player personnel for the Miami Dolphins, as our guest, and we'll run down all the scores as of this moment in the National Football League. Larry Walton, the flank wide out to the near side. Frank Lewis split wide left. Back to pass again. Ferguson sets, throws, angling on the left side. It's caught by Gant at the 40-yard line. He runs it up to the 44 and down. Double teamed high and low at the 44-yard line at the sideline. And now the Bills call for a timeout to stop the clock. And it shows 44 seconds remaining in the half, and time is called. The score: the Jets 7, the Bills 7. Let's take a WOR sponsor break for Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York.
Here's important news for all parents who'll be sending a youngster to school this September. No shots, no school. Starting this September, all first-time students must show proof of immunization before they can enter New York City schools. There's a reason for it. Diseases like mumps, polio, rubella, diphtheria, and measles are still around. And if they strike your child, they could cripple, even kill. You don't want that to happen. Neither does Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York. So we're urging parents to have their children immunized now. Remember, no shots, no school. See your family doctor or go to your nearest city health department clinic where your child will be immunized free. For the address of your nearest city health department clinic, call 349-2664. No shots, no school. Call 349-2664 now. Have your child immunized free. A public service message from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York.
Joe Ferguson calling signals. 1st and 10 at the 44. He's back to pass, looking downfield, has time. Now he throws short over to the right side. It's complete to Johnson. He's hit down immediately at the midfield line. Dennis Johnson, the rookie fullback. Greg Bartle stopped him at midfield, a gain of 6. It's 2nd and 4 at the 50-yard line. Just shy of the 50, make it the 49. 2nd and 5. Without a huddle, they'll line up in a double wing formation, and Ferguson is back to pass. 22 seconds to go in the half. A short pass over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Terry Miller. Hit his hands and was thrown behind him as he spun for the ball. Hit his hands and bounded down. Both Butler and Jackson were there defending. 20 seconds to go. The clock is stopped because of the incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and 5 at the 49-yard line of the Bills.
And with the strength of that pass rush, Ferguson is getting the ball off very quickly, trying to throw underneath that deep drop of that secondary of the New York Jets. They are playing deep center field. They're not going to let anything cross that end line or let them get too close, but they're going to let them try and let them complete the pass and then jump on the ball carrier or the receiver to keep the clock moving. But the Jets got to get a little quicker pass rush to get to Ferguson, although he is throwing very, very quickly.
Well, the Bills have their play brought in by Len Willis, the wide receiver. So it's Lewis and Willis at wide receivers on either side. The running backs are Johnson and Miller, a pair of rookies. 3rd and 5 at the 49. Looks like an offside on the play. Penalty markers all over the field. Ferguson runs out to the right side, goes to the line of scrimmage, stops. Now he throws over the right, and is caught by Miller at the 40-yard line of the Jets, and he's down. Penalty markers all over the field, however, that play should be nullified.
The left side of that offensive line was the ones that jumped offside. They moved before the ball was snapped. And we'll see now whether the Jets do take the penalty or they'll take the play. I imagine they will take the penalty, seeing how the clock is stopped now.
And the play did pick up the first down for the Buffalo Bills, so they're going to accept the penalty, I'm sure. Illegal procedure called against the Buffalo Bills. Illegal motion is what it is. And so it'll be 3rd down again, 3rd and 10. The ball will be at the 44-yard line of the Bills, now with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Score is tied at 7. And the Bills are taking chances right here.
Illegal motion.
Illegal motion is what you heard a moment ago from referee Pat Haggerty. When the Bills keep throwing that football, seeming desperate to get into Jet territory, it's up for grabs, remember, and the Jets can pull down that football, too. Right now, it's 3rd and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's a second quarter score. The Miami Dolphins 28, the Baltimore Colts 0. Those Colts are really down. 3rd and 10 at the 44-yard line. Flanker on the near side, Larry Wharton. Flanker on the far side is Frank Lewis. Running backs remain Johnson and Miller. Back to pass is Ferguson. 3rd and 10. Runs out to the right now, being rushed. Runs out to the left, being rushed. Comes back again over the middle, and he throws it away. He threw it away. No receiver near him. The official looking around to see whether he was intentionally grounding that ball, but there was no receiver near that football where it landed at the 50-yard line. Just no receiver at all.
Absolutely none, Marty. You're calling it exactly the way it is. There was no receiver there at all. If there was ever an intentional grounding of the football, that was it.
Well, there's no penalty, but at the same time, it's 4th down coming up, 4th and 10 at the 44. Only 3 seconds remain in this first half. All they have to do is kick that football, even kick it out of bounds. And the New York Jets are not even sending a kick receiver back there. Harper is not in. See Bobby Jackson back there and Burgess Owens. They'll just let that kick bounce. They don't want to even take a chance on fielding the ball. There's the kick, and the clock has run out already. It's rolling around near the 10-yard line. Only Buffalo Bills around the ball, and the first half is coming to an end. So there's the end of the first half, and the score. The New York Jets, 7. The Buffalo Bills, 7. With Dave Herman, this is Marty Glickman speaking to you from Rich Stadium in Buffalo. The score at halftime of the ball game is 7-7. Our guest at halftime is an old friend, the director of player personnel for the Miami Dolphins, keeping one eye on the Buffalo Bills, one eye on the New York Jets, because his Miami Dolphins will be playing both ball clubs. Who are you particularly scouting for today, George?
Marty, actually, I'm looking at Buffalo today. I've looked at Buffalo the last 2 weeks now. We're going to play them next week, so I'm always a game ahead, or sometimes 2 games ahead according to the schedule.
And out of the side of your eye, do you watch the Jets as well?
Oh, I notice the Jets. I know who
they're out there.
No, certainly. You got to, if you're looking at one, you got to see the other one. But I'm not as preoccupied with their personnel. I can see that Todd, doesn't look quite as good as he did last week, but he was super last week, and I'm certain the second half will be better.
Well, why is that, George Young? When you look at Richard Todd, and you saw him on film, obviously, when you're down in Miami with your football team preparing for this week's game against the Baltimore Colts, you had to look at Todd and your defense on film. Now, why is it, and you've been around football so long, why is it quarterbacks go up and down?
Sometimes I think as a coach, you become a slave to the film exchange. One of the things that I had to tell our players is that before we play the Jets is, for God's sake, don't pay attention to that Philadelphia Jet game, because that's not the real Jets. They played too well in the preseason, and they didn't play well in that game. Well, we got the same thing here. I mean, the Jets they know they beat the Dolphins last week. Now they look at the film exchange, and Buffalo at times didn't look too good last week. So sometimes that'll take your football team, but it's a heck of a lot different getting ready to play for Miami in the minds of the Jets, because they get themselves up for that first game. Now this is the second game after a big game, and so psychologically it may not be up for 2 games, but it's all for early to say that. I mean, this could be a wipeout. I mean, we don't know. The score is just 7-7 now.
If things have settled down, but I think we have to give credit to Chuck Knox and his coaching staff for making the adjustments against the Jet offense.
No, I think they've done a heck of a job defensively. So, strangely enough, they've been undershifted. most of the game. Even when the Jets were in, strong formation to the right, they've been undershifted, and they've been forcing the Jets to run to the right, and it's been helping them out. I don't know. I haven't been able to study the Jets lately, but I know it's a little different that you undershift that the formations that they're showing, but they've been giving them a lot of trouble with that. And they didn't show an undershift last week.
Let's go back to 1 week ago when the Jets quite readily and quite convincingly beat the Miami Dolphins. How did the Dolphins come out of that game? I understand that they had some injuries.
Physically, this week, I think the only guy that didn't play or isn't playing today is Larry Gordon. I think that Matheson, he'll play. I think we made a change at the right corner where we had a rookie. See, we had a rookie right corner who is a very good player now, and we had Doug Betters, a rookie right end who is a very good player. I'm not making any excuse for anything, because you had a rookie left tackle beat the heck out of our rookie right ends, but it doesn't make any difference. And Watson Walker's only in his second year, but you hurt us over on that side, and you hurt Thomas on one bomb, and he almost got his hands on. I mean, the Tron had a heck of a day. Your club was up. We played well. You played better. A lot of people don't realize this is a heck of a division, and there's a lot of competition in this division, and it's hard to be keyed up and be perfect every week.
George, what's the latest word on Bob Greasy?
I think this is the last week that he'll have that cast. He had the cast changed this week, but it's a cast that goes all the way from his hip to his ankle, and he's been working out with the weights and doing all kinds of exercise. It would surprise people what you can do with a full cast on, but at the end of this week, he's supposed to take the cast off and do some rehabilitation without the cast. And we really don't know. He's got some kind of medial collateral. We don't know if the tear, how much the tear is inside the capsule or how much outside the capsule, and we'll be able to know. It's the same knee he's had before. It is a little loose. It has been loose. It may be just the looseness from the previous injury in 1969, so we're not going to know if there's any tightening of that until after the cast comes off at the end of this week. So it would take him at least 3 weeks to rehabilitate that, when he gets the cast off, at least.
Well, George, speaking of Bob Greasy and him not playing for you, last week after the game, and certainly throughout the work week, I was confronted with the statement that Bob Greasy wasn't there. Now, you're an old friend, George. We want to know, in your opinion, how much difference would Bob Greasy have made to that Miami Dolphin offense or defense or total team effort last week?
Well, I don't think last week it would have made any difference. I think that the Jets last week were a better team than ours, and that's it. We were coming off a tough game with Tampa. Tampa plays that last preseason game like the Super Bowl, and as well as I do that physically when you play against a tough team, you're physically tired, and sometimes that might have been a factor in our game. But I honestly, I don't think not having Greasy. It made a score maybe a little different or something, but I think last week the Jets would have beat us regardless if King Kong was playing quarterback.
And Miami's getting ready now. After this game against the Baltimore Colts, we'll be getting ready for the Buffalo Bills. Your impressions of the Buffalo Bills on offense and defense?
Well, I think Ferguson has got himself together a lot more this week than he did last week. Last week, either it's his knee that's been bothering him and he doesn't have the confidence that he ought to have. He's got a lot more confidence and he's a lot more positive out there today. And their club is hustling. They hustled last week. They got behind in the second half. They started hustling. I think it was a new club, a new coach in the first half. In the second half, they began to realize they had a football team and played a lot better. But I think the quarterback's confidence is a lot better. They're playing this Dennis Johnson a little more, going to give him a little more speed outside and present a few more problems to the Jets. And I think that Ferguson's been throwing the ball pretty good to his backs. Both those backs can catch the ball pretty good, and Gant made a heck of a catch on one of those throw-out plays and was called back. So I think that the Buffalo looks a lot different this week than it did last week.
George Young, thank you very much for coming with us. Say tickets to the Seattle game at Shea Stadium next Sunday and to the remaining Jets home games against the Pittsburgh, Buffalo, St. Louis, New England, Baltimore, and Dallas teams are still available. Tickets can be purchased at the Jets office at 598 Madison Avenue, at Shea Stadium, at Madison Square Garden, and at Ticketron outlets. And this is a colorful, exciting, growing football team, these New York Jets. Get your opportunity to see them soon. Well, the New York Jets, as we said, will be kicking off. Pat Leahy to boot the ball from right to left. The Buffalo Bills already out there waiting for that kickoff. The Jets still huddled up on their own 30-yard line. This is their special teams unit. They were in the locker room an inordinately long period of time. Just came out just a couple of moments ago, as we said. And apparently Walt Michaels and his coaching staff had a couple of things to say to them. Now they've broken their huddle. Leahy flexes his leg. Comes back about 7 yards. Ball is at the 35. He's standing back at the 28. Now he drives forward and angles that ball high and deep, going right down to the goal line. Bounce down in front of the misjudged receiver, and it goes to the end line and goes out of bounds. Off the playing field. Curtis Brown misjudged that ball. He was waiting for it. First at the end line, rather at the goal line. Then he came in, and then suddenly it dropped at his feet. Fortunately for him, it rolled through the end zone and off the field of play. He sort of half-loped back after it, but it's anybody's football once it goes 10 yards. And had the Jets fallen on it in the end zone, it had been a Jet touchdown. But there was no such opportunity. He was right there for it, you understand, but he wasn't too eager to get to that ball.
And it didn't appear that he was too eager to catch the ball in the first place. Normally, you want your receiving guy to get underneath that ball and catch it and return it, especially if it only goes to the 5-yard line.
At the 20-yard line, as a result of the touchback, it's 1st and 10 at the 20. Joe Ferguson back in there at quarterback. The handoff to Terry Miller. He drives off right guard. Joe smashing off his own right tackle for 2 yards, and that's all. The Jets quickly converged on the play, led in there by Larry Pillars. The Jets have used the same defensive unit. Pillars, Abdul Salam, and Joe Klecko in the front line. The linebackers, Buttle, Hennigan, Hennessy, and Martin. And the deep four with Schaefer Suggs and Burgess Owens at the safeties, and Bobby Jackson, the rookie, and Ed Taylor, the veteran, at the corners. Now it's 2nd and 8 at the 22-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. The score is tied 7-7. Signals called. Joe Ferguson at quarter takes the snap. And a handoff to the fullback, Johnson, up the middle for about 3 yards up to the 25-yard line. Abdul Salam stopped the play.
And now is the time for the Jets to jump on these Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo, for some reason, has come out as sluggish on offense as the Jets have shown in the first half. The Jet defense, of course, is doing a fine job against them. They have a shutout working. The only way the Bills got their points was on an interception all the way back for a touchdown. So the Jet defense playing very, very well. And the Bills have come out, as I said, a bit sluggish.
It's 3rd and 5 at the 25-yard line. Walton flanks wide out to the right side. Frank Lewis split wide left. The running backs are Dennis Johnson and Terry Miller, the rookies. 3rd and 5 at the 25. Signals called by Ferguson. Takes the snap. He's back to pass. Throws angling to the left side, and it's incomplete. Intended for Reuben Gant. He was hit hard immediately by Mike Hennigan. What a shot. The ball got to Reuben Gant, and Hennigan got to Gant at about the same time, and all three really collided and then separated. All three, the ball, Gant, and Hennigan.
And a picture-perfect hit by Mike Hennigan. Hennigan is outweighed at least 10 to 15 pounds by Gant, but he completely separated Gant from the ball. Well-timed, well-devised hit.
Punting now is Rusty Jackson, waiting back at his own 12, moves forward and boosts that ball to Bruce Harper. Again, it's a very short kick. It bounced down near the midfield line, around the 50-yard line, rolling around and is fallen on by the Buffalo Bills. So short was that kick, it almost hit one of the Jets coming back for it. Only a 21-yard punt, and that Jackson is not punting well at all. He had a 21-yarder, a 19-yarder, another 29-yarder, a 37. He hadn't punted well at all except for one, I think, of 49 yards.
And if I was Walt Michaels, I would try and take advantage of the Buffalo Bills right on this first play. I might go deep right on the first play because Buffalo looks like they're sound asleep.
Well, the ball is at the 48-yard line of the Bills. A pitch out wide to the left side. Durkin carries the ball, runs off left tackle, goes inside the 45 to the 42-yard line where he stopped. Good gainer on the play of about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5 at the 42 of the Buffalo Bills, and the Jets have terrific field position. The ball game is tied 7-7. They do look, and it's strange, Dave. You can just look out there and see lack of sparkle on the part of the Bills, and you don't know why.
I have no idea why. They're in a ball game that nobody figured they'd be in, and whether they got any first downs or how they got the points. They do have the points in the board, and they're tied to the Jets, but they still are sluggish.
2nd and 5 at the 42 of the Bills. Todd takes it, hands off to Long, smashes off left guard, and he's got about the first down. He's very close to that first down marker now, around about the 37, 38-yard line. Depends upon where they put that ball down. They may measure on this one, and they're calling for a time to bring that yardstick out. Lucius Sanford and Merv Coker combined to stop the ball carrier. Kevin Long on that last play, and now the yardstick is being brought out. The chain is brought out, set down at the 45-yard line, stretched down to about the 38-yard line, and it is a first down.
And a super block out there by Chris Ward. Chris, of course, the young tackle playing against the experienced Sherman White, and he turned him out. This created a big hole for the running back, and that's something that Chris was unable to do in the first half, but he got it done at the start of the second half.
Well, here the Jets threatening at the 37 of the Bills. First down coming up for them. I formation in the backfield. A pitch out wide to the right side. Jerking carries the ball, runs off right tackle, cuts to the outside and drives down inside the 35 to about the 32-yard line. Picks up 5 yards more on a swinging off tackle smash. A pitch out off his own right side. Doug Jones, the strong safety, made the stop on the play at the 32-yard line of the Bills.
And that's the theory of the Jet offense on this year, 1978, last year also. They don't do things that will get them in trouble too much. I'd like to see them go for the deep thing right now, but they're running the football and they're running it well.
It's 2nd and 5. At the 33, I formation on the backfield. Long in front of Durkin. The handoff goes to Long. Long drives up the middle, goes for 4 yards. And again, he's close to another first down. 4 or 5 yards on the play. Inside the 30-yard line of about the 28. They may measure on this too. Let's see. No, they don't. It's going to be 3rd and about a foot. John Little, an ex-Jet, playing defense now at right tackle for the Bills. Made the stop on the last play. That's John Little, number 72, a 9-year veteran. It's 3rd and about a foot or 2. The ball at the 28-yard line. A tight wing T formation. 3rd and short yardage. Signals being called by Todd. Takes the snap. He gives off to Long. Long barrels his way in the middle. He's got the first down. He's got 2 yards on the play down to about the 26-yard line. Stopped by Lucius Sanford again, that rookie right linebacker.
And I missed it right at the first start of the series, but Gary Petz has replaced Dan Alexander. Gary got good movement that time, along with Joe Fields and Rasmussen up the middle. Got good movement to get that first down, but it's a very, very conservative type play, and it's the type plays that the Jets have called.
First down for New York. The Jets and the Buffalo Bills are tied 7-7. 4 minutes are gone in this third quarter. It keeps getting darker, grayer. It keeps getting later in the afternoon, too. Gaffney flanks wide to the right side. Wes Walker split wide left. Running backs remain Long and Durkin. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line of the Bills. Hand off to Long. He drives over the hole off right tackle inside the 25 to about the 22-yard line. Picks up 4 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 6 at the 22. The Buffalo Bills and the Jets are just grinding it out inside the tackles on virtually all of these plays except for one off tackle smash by Durkin.
And Kevin Long carrying the ball 10 times has a 6-yard average. 60 yards and 10 carries. That's not bad at all for anybody's standard.
It's 2nd and 6 at the 22. Jets go to the line of scrimmage. A regular pro set. The backs side by side. Back of their tackle. Signals being called. Todd looking right and left. Head swiveling. He hands off to Durkin. Runs off left tackle. Goes down to the 21-yard line. Only one play on it. As he got good penetration, Lucius Sanford did. The right linebacker penetrated well and was into the Jet backfield, stopping the play for only a 1-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 5 at the 21.
And you're going to see those linebackers coming up and plugging those holes. Coker came in there also, penetrated and knocked the trapping guard, Jerry Petz, off of his block, and so that was why the play was made. They're going to have to put the ball in the air, I do believe, sometime.
It's 3rd and 5, and Bruce Harper's come in replacing Scott Durkin at halfback. 3rd and 5 at the 21 of the Bills. They make the first down now, or they go for the long field goal. 3rd and 5 at the 21. Signals called. Todd looking at the shifting defense. Penalty marker on the play. Delay of game. Delay of game, seems to me. Delay of game for the New York Jets. Todd saw that shifting defense, and he took too much time in changing the play.
Exactly what happened. The defense was overshifted to the right, and then they overshifted to the left. They were moving back and forth. Todd was obviously on this play changing his call at the line of scrimmage and didn't get it off. The confusing defense that the Buffalo Bills threw at him threw his timing off, and he went over his allotted time and got a delay of game penalty.
Now Clark Gaines comes in, and Gaines and Harper are the running backs, and it's 3rd and 10 at the 26. 3rd and long. Tough situation for Todd and the Jets. He takes it, drops straight back to pass. Steps into the pocket now, looks downfield. A penalty marker on the play. It's overthrown. It looks like there might be holding called on this one, and there is. And you can see jumping up and down like a little boy is Chris Ward, up and down, howling at him. He did not hold, he says. Actually dancing up and down. Did Chris Ward, number 72, howling at the official for a holding infraction. The Jets rapidly are getting out of field goal range.
And they really are. I think Buffalo Bills accept this penalty. The ball was overthrown intentionally. Richard Todd threw it out of bounds, but the holding penalty is going to be a big play against the New York Jets. They were doing so well, but then all of a sudden when they needed that pass protection, they got themselves in trouble with the big penalty.
Here's the call now. And they're marking it off. It's going to be third down again, but 3rd and 20 at the 36-yard line. Let's listen to the official.
Holding, number 72, offense.
The official is Pat Haggerty. Number 72 is Chris Ward, that fine rookie tackle from Ohio State. So it's 3rd and 20 at the 36. Ward and Powell, 2 holding penalties in this ball game thus far, 1 each against. 3rd and long at the 36 of the Bills. Todd takes it, drops straight back. A big rush now. He throws going down the middle of Gaffney. He's got it from 15. He pulls away. He's going for a touchdown. He's in. He pulled away from the 2 tacklers at the 10-yard line, and he ran it in. 2 men converged on him with the ball, but they failed to pull him down. And the New York Jets are out in front now, 13-7. A fine play by Derek Gaffney, keeping his feet at the 10-yard line. The 2 backs, Green and Clark, bumping into him, but they did not knock him down. They went down, and he just kept right on going. And with that touchdown for the Jets, why not score some points yourself? Next time you're with friends, bring out the Pabst. Premium tasting Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's a lot to look forward to. Here's the point after attempt. Ball is snapped, kicked, and the penalty marker is down. Hold everything. Wait a second. The kick was good. Let's see who the penalty is against. Offside called against the Bills, so it's good. The score, the New York Jets 14, the Buffalo Bills 7. Let's take a 60-second sponsor break for Hess Quality Gasoline and Service.
At Hess we serve you gasoline and keep our station sparkling clean. But we take the time to say hello to you. We polish everything inside, and Hess we keep it clean and bright. So you like us for the little things we do. We clean your windows front and rear and do your headlights too. Check your oil and battery, and Hess we follow through. Hess is quality and courtesy and doing things for you. Hess is very big on little things.
5-yard penalty on the last play. And the ball falls off the kicking feet. A little bit embarrassing. Everybody has to come back and get psyched up again.
I don't know where the wind came from. There is absolutely hardly any wind up there, up at the top of the stadium with the flag. We can see the flag almost hanging limp, but it did fall off the kicking tee.
Here's Leahy moving forward again. This time he boots it high and deep in the end zone. It won't be run out. It's 8 yards in. And Curtis Brown catches it there and just puts one knee to the ground. Automatic touchback. And now we know why they moved the ball back to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, I guess so. The strength of the kickers nowadays in 1978, if they put the ball on the 40-yard line with Leahy and the kickers around the National Football League, they put the ball out of the end zone most every time.
Todd has completed his last 4 passes. Now he's 7 for 13, 98 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Gaffney in this ball game has 4 catches for 75 yards and a touchdown. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Walton flank wide out to the left side. Double wing formation. 1 deep back. Dennis Johnson. A pitch out to Johnson trying to swing his own right in. He's up to the line of scrimmage. Moves upfield for 5. Cuts back to the left side for 10. And he's down after an 11-yard gain. Good tackle on the play by Burgess Owens. But there was a pitch out around the right side. And he got good blocking, and the play picked up 11 yards and a first down.
And give Terry Miller some credit for his blocking, saying he has a lot to learn about blocking, but he still gets the people tied up. He tied up Greg Buttle on more than one occasion, and that's something that's difficult to do. We haven't seen Greg tied up by a blocking back very often, but he was that time enabling the fullback to get to 11 yards. Len Willis comes in with the play, and he flanks wide out to the left side. Frank Lewis puts wide to the right side. Running backs are Dennis Johnson and Terry Miller. It's 1st and 10 at the 31. Jet defense looked just a little bit lax on the last play. Hand off to Miller. Miller hit wide, trying to swing around in the end. He cuts like upfield, and he's dropped back of the line of scrimmage, and a penalty marker is dumped at the same time. Terry Miller swinging wide, holding called against the Buffalo Bills, and I think the Jets are going to refuse this one. Well, I don't know if they're going to or not, but Joe Klecko again in the middle of things. They tried to get around his end, and they were actually going to block him with the fullback. And that's where the holding penalty came from. Again, Joe Klecko draws the holding penalty for the Buffalo Bills. Another big play by Joe Klecko, doing a fine job, as are all the defending
holding, number 88,
Offense.
Number 88 is Reuben Gant on offense. He was holding, and the Jets have elected to accept the penalty. So it's 1st and 20 at the 21-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. Bills still huddled up. Blue jerseys, white helmets, huge white numerals, white pants, rhapsodies in blue and white. The Jets all in white with green trim. It's 1st and 20 at the 21-yard line. Again, a double wing formation. Dennis Johnson at fullback as the lone deep back. Signal's being called. Joe Ferguson takes it. A draw play. He hands up to the fullback who smashes up the middle, goes for about 5 before Larry Pillar stops him at the 26-yard line. Don't know why the crowd is objecting to that play. You hear them in the background. Maybe they want to see that ball thrown.
As much as they like a winning football team, they dislike a losing football team, and the Bills now are playing like losers. Going for a draw on that first down situation where they had 20 yards to go. The crowd thinks it's an obvious passing situation, and I kind of do too.
It's 2nd and 15 at the 26-yard line. The play picked up 5 yards. Lewis flanks over to the near side. Split wide to the right side is Glenn Willis. Running backs, Dennis Johnson, Terry Miller, Joe Ferguson at quarterback. The backs are split back of their tackles. Signals called. Ferguson takes it. On 2nd and long, he sets up. Being rushed hard. Throws out to the left flat. It's caught out there by fullback Johnson. He's run out of bounds and hit hard by Schaefer Suggs. That was Dennis Johnson, the fullback, a safety valve kind of play, but he brought the ball up to about the 34-yard line. It was good for 8 yards, makes it 3rd and 7 at the 34.
A good job of covering deep by the Jet defenders. They go into that 3-man defensive front, not bringing a linebacker, so they're dropping 8 guys back to cover that particular pass play, and they did a fine job forcing Ferguson into his outlet.
3rd and 7 at the 34-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. The Jets are out in front in this ball game by a score of 14-7. Walton flanks wide to the right side. Frank Lewis splits wide left. Signals called by Joe Ferguson. He splits his backs now. Johnson going further to the right side. Takes the snap. Goes back to pass. No blitz. A 3-man rush. Looks, throws down the middle, and it's caught for the first down at the 41-yard line. It was very close. It may not be the first down. Hold on. Larry Walton. Johnson was the fellow who made the catch. And Mike Hennigan made the tackle, but it's shy of the first down I see now. The ball is at the 41-yard line. The series began at the 31, and they did not make it. They did not make it. Rusty Jackson is running into the lineup. Just shy of the first down. No measurement, and Jackson goes into punt. The Jets maintain that lead of 14-7. 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go in this 3rd quarter. The Jets now have a 9-man rush. 2 men are back. Bruce Harper is the deeper man. Ken Troy is up around the 44-yard line. Now 3 men are back there. Snap in center, and there's the kick by Jackson. He gets a good kickoff. A high twisting spiral coming way down at the 5, rolling for the goal line and going into the end zone for the touchback. That's one of the few good kicks by Rusty Jackson today. 59-yarder. And a Jet and a Bill square off. Looked like Bobby Jones in there for the Jets, and Lou Picone, ex-Jet, squaring off momentarily, but nothing came of it. And the Jets will have the ball at their 20-yard line as a result of the touchback. And time is called. The score, the Jets 14, the Bills 7. Let's have a sponsor break from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York.
Here's important news for all parents who'll be sending a youngster to school this September. No shots, no school. Starting this September, all first-time students must show proof of immunization before they can enter New York City schools. There's a reason for it. Diseases like mumps, polio, rubella, diphtheria, and measles are still around. And if they strike your child, they could cripple, even kill. You don't want that to happen. Neither does Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York. So we're urging parents to have their children immunized now. Remember, no shots, no school. See your family doctor, or go to your nearest city health department clinic where your child will be immunized free. For the address of your nearest city health department clinic, call 349-2664. No shots, no school. Call 349-2664 now. Have your child immunized free. A public service message from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York.
Jets ball, 1st and 10 on their 20-yard line. They lead in the football game 14-7, midway through this 3rd quarter. They go into the regular pro set. Gaffney split wide to the left side. Walker flank wide right. Running backs are Long and Durkin. Todd hands off to Long. Long breaks off the right side, goes up to 9 yards, up to the 29-yard line before he's pulled down. One more man to beat, and he might have gone a long, long way. Tackle was made by Ben Williams, the one man who stopped him. Williams, defensive left end, pulled him down from the side and behind as Long was breaking away what might have been a really long gainer, picked up 9 yards anyhow.
And seeing as Williams had made the tackle from his defensive end spot, it's indicative of how far Marvin Powell is blowing him off the ball right now.
2nd and 1 at the 29-yard line. Todd calling signals, gives off to Long again. He runs wide, cuts upfield. He has a first down, picking up 2 up to the 31-yard line. Here are scores from all over the country. At the half, New England Patriots 16, the St. Louis Cardinals nothing. At the half, the Rams 3, the Falcons nothing. At the half, San Francisco 7, Chicago Bears 6. At the half, Miami 28, Baltimore nothing. At the half, San Diego 13, Oakland 7. Final scores in overtime, Cleveland beats Cincinnati 13-10. Final score, Dallas Cowboys 34, New York Giants 24. Back to action. 1st and 10 at the 31. Jets ball. They lead 14-7. 13 takes it, smashes up the middle, goes up to the 35-yard line as he picks up 4 yards. More scores. Green Bay Packers 28, New Orleans Saints 17. Final score, Washington Redskins 35, the Eagles 30. Pittsburgh Steelers defeated the Seattle Seahawks 21-10. And another final, Houston 20, Kansas City Chiefs 17 off the Hess scoreboard. It's 2nd and 6 at the 35-yard line of the Jets. The Jets leading in the ball game 14-7. They move to the line of scrimmage with Gaffney flanking wide to the right side. Walker split about 8 yards to the left side. Running backs are still Durkin and Long. The Jets grinding it out now, coming from their own 20, now to the 35. Back to pass goes Todd, faking a handoff, sets up, throws, angling to the side. A beautiful catch, a fumble. Gaffney recovers. It's ruled incomplete. It's ruled incomplete. Gaffney had the ball momentarily over the middle at the midfield line. On a crossing pattern, he had that ball, and as he dove for it, he went down, and he and the ball separated, and they ruled it incomplete. Lucius Sanford and Mario Clark were covering.
And just a super effort to get his hands on the ball in the first place. Going back to what we said before, Richard Todd is not having a day like he had last week. He's not hitting his receiver. Led Gaffney a bit too far, and Gaffney almost came up with a super catch.
Now the Bills have 5 halfbacks in there as Coker comes out, and Keith Moody, a halfback, comes in. Coker being a linebacker. 3rd and 6 at the 35. Signals called by Richard Todd. Takes the snap. He's back to pass on 3rd. Steps into the pocket. Being rushed now. Starts to run, and he's pulled down. Wisely keeping the ball. He's pulled down at the 33. It's just a 2-yard loss. Sanford pulled him down, and instead of trying to raise up and throw, he just held on to that football, and he was hit down hard.
And the big rush came from Sherman White. Sherman, of course, being able to rush the passer, confusing Chris Ward. Chris has his sparkling moment, and then he has his moments that don't shine so much. One of those was right there, and he could beat Chris very fast to the quarterback, forcing Todd to run the ball.
One formation, Chuck Ramsey back there on his own 17, 18-yard line. Levenseller, Mike Levenseller is the single safety. A 10-man rush from the Buffalo Bills. Watch out. Ramsey gets it, moves forward, and he gets the kick away, and it's a good one. A quivering spiral high in the air, coming down to the 24-yard line, taken by Levenseller, up to the 30, goes driving up the middle, goes to the 37, and he stops at the 37. A 43-yard punt, a 13-yard return, tackle made by Darnell Powell, the reserve running back for the New York Jets. Wait a second, ineligible receiver downfield. An ineligible tackler downfield. It's the signal we just get now from referee Pat Haggerty. Here it is.
Ineligible man downfield, number 50, offense, decline. First down.
Number 50 is Mike Mott, a reserve linebacker and a rookie. So the penalty is declined, as you heard. Now it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. Joe Ferguson stays in. Is that Bill Munson in there?
No, that's what the fans want.
Oh, I see.
That's why the fans are booing a little bit consistently. Munson came off the bench last week and got the points for the Buffalo Bills against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Time has been called. Our coverage of this Jets-Bills game this afternoon over WOR New York is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York, by Datsun Cars and Trucks, by European American Bank, by Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer, and Hess Quality Gasoline.
And up until the point that Munson came in last week, the Buffalo Bills only had 59 yards rushing. Munson came in the start of the 4th quarter, and up until that point, they had 59 yards rushing. The fans remember that, certainly those that were here last week, and that's the reason for a bit of booing that you might hear out there. They do want to see Munson come off the bench and try and put some life into this Buffalo Bill offense.
We can expect it momentarily. He did just that last week. They were down 21-0 when he came into the ball game. And he scored their 17 points for them.
Absolutely did. And we kind of can expect to see him come in. If Ferguson doesn't move the ball this particular series, I would kind of look forward to seeing Munson come in. That's why Chuck Knox acquired Munson in the first place.
3:52 to go in this third quarter. The Jets are leading 14-7. I formation on the backfield. Dennis Johnson in front of Terry Miller. Joe Ferguson at quarterback takes it. Fakes the handoff, goes back to pass, and throws down the middle. And it's caught by Gaines at the Jets 45. He's down to the 40 and at the 38-yard line. Schaefer Suggs makes the tackle at the 38. Well, I guess Munson can wait a bit.
I think he can, too. I've always been impressed with Joe Ferguson, especially when he has his on days. Remembering when I used to play with the Jets, we would come up there, and sometimes Ferguson would have a bad day, and other times he would kill you. And he can have his very, very bright moments.
Reuben Gant made the grab. And Schaefer Suggs grabbed him, but the play was good for 24 yards. First down at the Jets, 38-yard line. Double wing formation. In the slot to the right side is Terry Miller. The deep back is Dennis Johnson. Joe Ferguson under the center. A pitch out wide to Miller, running off his own right side. He's got room down to the 35, to the 30-yard line. He stops at the 30-yard line. Play is good for 8 yards on an off-tackle smash, and now the Buffalo Bills look alive.
It's the strangest ball game I think I've ever seen. I don't recall they're going up and down so much by both squads. Now it appears that the Jets' defense are the ones that are lagging behind. Their offenses, the Bills' offenses picked it up. Greg Butler was attacked that time by an offensive tackle pulling out to block for the running back. Normally, he penetrates so deep. That time he had no penetration at all.
Thus far, Joe Ferguson has thrown 18, completed 12 for 115 yards. They're in a pro set. 2nd and 2 at the 30-yard line. Signal score by Ferguson. Takes the snap. Gives off to Johnson. Johnson the full right up the middle for the first down. He picks up 4 yards. He's got the first down to the New York Jets 26-yard line. It's 1st and 10 at the 26. The Jets are leading 14-7, but these Bills are driving. Joe Flacco made the tackle. And the New York Jets have to tighten that defense.
And they ought to tighten the defense around their tight end, Reuben Gant. Gant he's the guy that's making the plays go. He's the big playmaker for the Buffalo Bills thus far today.
Glenn Willis is in at wide receiver again, bringing in the play. Frank Lewis on the left side and Willis on the right side. The running backs remain the same, Miller and Johnson, pair of rookies. And the handoff to Miller. An off-tackle power play. Cuts upfield down to the 20-yard line and right down to the 18-yard line before he's driven out of bounds by Schaefer Suggs. A fine play, good for 8 yards. And that Terry Miller really can turn it on when he makes that cut. He was swinging wide around the right side on that power off-tackle or wide-end sweep. And he really turned it on when he made that cut and just powered his way through.
And when the Bills run that power play, they bring everybody around that horn. It looks like they're bringing the trainer and the doctors out there making some blocks because they bring both guards and they bring the backside tackle and just a lot of people trying to create that hole that Miller can find.
It's 2nd and 2 at the 17-yard line of the Jets. The Bills in their finest drive of the ball game thus far. Ferguson takes it, hands up to Johnson. A big hole up the middle. He's got a first down to the 11-yard line. A smashing run. Mike Hennigan stopped the play along with Burgess Owens. But the offensive line of the Bills is beating the defensive line of the Jets to the charge. The ball is right down to the 11-yard line. And it's 1st and 10 at the Jets make it the 12-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 12. And the Buffalo Bills started this drive on their 37. They're down to the Jets 12.
And they started this quarter very, very lackadaisical, very slack as far as effort goes. And all of a sudden, now they have it, and the crowd is loving every minute of it.
They're at the line of scrimmage. Flanker wide to the right side, split left end. The backs are split. Johnson and Miller. Ferguson takes the snap, gives off to Miller. He runs right up the middle, and he stopped for a 1-yard gain. No more than that. Greg Butler led the defensive charge, helped out by Abdul Salam. It'll be 2nd and 9 at the 11-yard line. Off tackle, that's inside the tackle end, and just a 1-yard gain.
And now the Jets have got to play some real tough, aggressive defense to keep them out of the end zone. 3 points is going to be bad enough to lose to the Buffalo Bills by the way of a field goal if they can make it. But the Jets have got to play tough defense.
And the quarter has come to an end. So that's the end of the third quarter in the score. The New York Jets, 14. The Buffalo Bills, 7. Let's take a 60-second sponsor break for this announcement.
Think about this.
If you'd like to earn higher interest on your savings, but don't have $10,000 or 6 months to wait, European American Bank has something for you. The 90-Day Wonder Account. You can open a 90-Day Wonder Account with only a $500 deposit and earn higher interest than regular savings in only 90 days. That's right, 90 days. Not 6 years, not even 6 months. Just 90 days. And with EAB's 90-Day Wonder, you can make additional deposits anytime, in any amount you want, so you can earn higher interest on that money, too. So come into any of EAB's 97 branches, and we'll explain how easy it is for your savings to grow with a 90-Day Wonder Account. The quick and easy way to earn higher interest. The 90-Day Wonder at European American Bank. Think about it. Member FDIC. For early withdrawal, a substantial interest penalty is required.
It's a big ball game for both teams, and it's 14-7 Jets right now, but the Bills are threatening 2nd and 9 at the 11-yard line of the Jets. They're driving to our left now here at Rich Stadium. Opening play of the fourth quarter coming up. Lewis flank wide to the right side, split left end is Walton. The backs also a split. Signals are called by Ferguson. Takes the snap. He's back to pass, looking downfield, being rushed hard, throws it over the middle, and it's caught at the 5 by Gant. Touchdown! Gant caught it at the 5-yard line and turned and dove in for the score. Reuben Gant on a short pass over the middle. A big rush put on. A pretty play executed by the Bills.
And continues to be the big playmaker for the Buffalo Bills is Reuben Gant. Ferguson caught the Jets coming in a 2 outside linebacker blitz. So they had a 3 down defensive lineman and 2 outside linebacker blitzing, and that is why the play was so wide open to Reuben Gant. He caught the ball and went in for the touchdown.
A 63-yard drive. Nicely conceived, nicely executed. Here's the point after attempt. Bob Chandler will hold. Tom Dempsey will kick. Signals are called. Ball is snap, placed down and booted. It's up, and it's no good. It hit the upright, the right upright, and bounced back. It was no good. Tom Dempsey hit it wide to the right. The score, the Jets 14, the Bills 13. Let's have 60 seconds for a call with Northern Economy Datsun.
Why are car shoppers everywhere deciding on Datsun? Listen to new B210 buyer Vivian Hoskins.
Oh, I got a great deal. I was really satisfied with it.
Bob Picard, are you happy with your new Datsun 810?
I expected to find a very smooth piece of machinery. I wasn't quite prepared for how smooth it was.
Jerry and Janet Horn, like your new B210?
I like the gas mileage.
I like the dependability.
Paul Crawford, how's your new Datsun King cab?
It handles beautifully. It's very economical.
Marty Mendelson, how would you rate your new Datsun B210?
I think Datsun, quality-wise, is superior, far superior to the other cars.
Hurry in today and get a year-end deal on famous Datsun quality. We are dealing.
Check out the bargains at your Datsun dealer today and get more than a good deal. Get a great car, because Datsun quality is the greatest economy of all.
6 seconds are gone in this fourth quarter, and the Jets lead by 1 point. This figures to be quite a finish to the ball game today. It's 14-13. The Jets over the Buffalo Bills. Tom Dempsey is ready to kick off that ball. He's standing back on his own 25. He can't be a very happy big man right now. 6'5", 250 pounds. He moves forward, and he boosts that ball. It's a floater, a low bounding kick coming down to the 5-yard line and taken there by Harper. Harper runs it up the middle of the 15, the 20, the 25, and he spills forward to the 28-yard line. Good run back by Little Brucey. Spilled on the play by Will Grant, a center. So the New York Jets have a 1-point lead, and they've got to come alive now.
And they certainly do, Marty. They've had the gift, so to speak, given to them. Tom Dempsey missing that extra point, a very crucial extra point, and now it's the Jets' ball.
It's 1st and 10 for the Jets on their 28-yard line. Opening minute of the fourth quarter. Running backs are Long and Durking. Signals called. The handoff goes to Long. He runs off left tackle for no gain. Stopped on the play by Big Phil Dokes. And Dokes, the defensive right tackle, has had a good day all afternoon. Probably against, is it Ward?
No, it's against my old buddy Rasmussen. He beat Rasmussen to the charge that time. Took the outside route. They were trying to double team Dokes with Ras and Joe Fields, the center, but he took the outside gap and made the penetration and made the play.
It's 2nd and 10 at the 28-yard line. The Jets need yardage here. They have to give that defense some rest. Now Todd goes back to pass, sets up, looks to throw down the middle, and it's incomplete, almost intercepted by Doug Jones. He battled G. Barkham for the ball, and Barkham again had all he could do to break up that pass from being intercepted.
A very fine job by Barkham on that particular play. It seems that Richard Todd is predetermined where he's going to throw that football. Instead of going to his secondary receiver, if there is one or if there was one on that particular play, he didn't find him. He was determined to go to Barkham all the way, and he was covered very tight.
Again, the Bills have 5 halfbacks in there. This time Steve Freeman replaces middle linebacker Merv Coker. It's 3rd and 10 at the 28. Buffalo Bills defense high as a kite. Back to pass. Todd gets set, throws down the middle, deflected, and intercepted. A penalty marker on the play. It's being run back along the near sideline. And Freeman, who just came in, is tackled at the 32-yard line, but a penalty marker has been thrown down. Interference called against the Bills. That's what it is. The Jets will have that ball. Interference against the Bills, I believe. Let's get the announcement now. Here it is.
Defensive pass interference, number 29, first down.
Mario Clark, defensive pass interference. Again, the Jets get a break.
They got another break, and they need that break. And it was a good route run by Derek Gaffney. Gaffney, the intended receiver, and the ball was thrown pretty well by Richard Todd. Pass protection held up again on that particular play, so he had time to throw it and got the defensive interference called.
Ball at the 42-yard line of the Jets. That play picked up 14 yards and a first down when they needed it most. 1st and 10 at the 42. Now Harper and Gaines, the running backs, and Todd back to pass, being rushed on through for a big loss. Way back to the 30-yard line. Bill Dokes again made that play. Bill Dokes came charging in along with Dennis Johnson, another reserve tackle.
And they're lining up in the odd man defensive front. They're putting Dokes that time over the center, and he beat the center quite badly. He beat Joe Fields badly, and Joe got no help. I tell you, the Buffalo Bills, the Jets are letting them get up. They're letting them do the things that they shouldn't be able to do. The Jets normally can pass block a team like the Buffalo Bills quite well, but they certainly haven't done it thus far today on a consistent basis.
It's 2nd and 21 at the 31-yard line as McClanahan goes into the lineup, replacing Dennis Johnson at tackle. A 3-man front this time now for the Buffalo Bills. They're using 3 defensive linemen. That's that 3-4 defense that the Jets usually use. 2nd and 21 at the 31. The handoff goes to Harper. Harper drives up the middle, goes to the 35, and he stops at the 35-yard line as he picks up 4 yards. But it's going to be 3rd and 17 at the 35-yard line of the Jets. And the Jets have had the momentum in this ball game taken away by these Buffalo Bills. The ball placed down at the 36-yard line. Makes it 3rd and 16 coming up. Play was stopped by Shane Nelson and Lucius Sanford, the linebackers.
And it's indicative of the type of a season the football team is going to have if they're flat at one point like the Buffalo Bills were and can rise to the occasion and come back and play good football. Buffalo should have a pretty decent season as they get used to their new head coach.
Right now the score is 14-13. The New York Jets lead by 1. 12:50 to go in this game. 3rd and 16 for New York. Tough play for the New York Jets as Todd goes back to pass on 3rd and long. Throws it short to Harper. Harper to the 40, the 45, and down at the 45-yard line. He's short of the first down. Nevertheless, the Jets can kick the Buffalo Bills deep into the Bills' own territory now. They've got fair position for this punch.
And it was the only person to throw to was a setback coming out of the backfield. They doubled it, both wide receivers, and they doubled Barkham. So they had 6 guys covering on the 3 intended primary receivers for any football team, so he had to throw to the backs coming out of the backfield. That was the only person open.
Well, it's 4th and 8. So Chuck Ramsey is in the punt now for the New York Jets, standing back on his own 29-yard line. Mike Levenseller is back at the 10-yard line. Levenseller is a wide receiver rookie from Washington State. Waiting for the snap from center on formation. He gets the snap, moves forward, and gets that kickoff. It's a good kick, a high, pretty spiral coming back near the 10-yard line. Taken by Levenseller at the 10. He starts to his left, to the 15, angling on the near sideline. Tries to make the turn, a penalty marker on the play, and a clipping is going to be called against the Buffalo Bills. Bob Rabel was clipped by number 54, Randy McClanahan, a linebacker. The penalty marker is down. It was right out there in the open. We could all see it. A 44-yard punt, a good return, but it's all going to be nullified by that clipping. He's going to bring that ball well back. The infraction took place at the 14-yard line, so the penalty will bring it back to the 7-yard line.
And that's the 8th penalty against the Buffalo Bills throughout the day. They've had 8 penalties. The Jets have only had 4. However, 3 of the Jets penalties was holding on offense, but the Bills have had 8 penalties now thus far today.
Here's a gorgeous opportunity for the New York Jets defense to hold the Bills deep in their own territory and get good field position. But they've got to hold them in there because this series is going to begin for the Bills on the Bills' 7-yard line.
And it's a good time for the Jets offense to get over.
Foul. 15 on the run back. First down.
And it's a good time for the Jet offense to get their thoughts together and become a more efficient unit.
What time is called? And the score. The Jets 14, the Bills 13. Let's take a WOR sponsor break for Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer.
Well, I'm leaving now, don't need no reservation, got no hesitation, got no ribbon on my mind, gonna dance like that, all those other places, look for friendly faces, got the ribbon on my mind. I've got blue ribbon on my mind. More and more lately I find I've got a taste for living. I'm thinking cold blue ribbon. I've got Pabst Blue Ribbon on my mind.
Since 1844, naturally good Pabst. A lot to look forward to.
Brewed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and other fine cities.
11 minutes and 41 seconds left in this ball game. The Jets lead by 1, 14-13. They've got the Bills back in their own territory. The Bills break the huddle from their own end zone and go to the 7-yard line where it's 1st and 10 for the Bills on their own 7. They go into the double wing formation. Dennis Johnson, the lone deep back. Terry Miller is in the slot to the right side. Joe Ferguson calls signals. A long count, takes the snap. The pitch out wide to the right side to Johnson, trying to circle the end. He cuts off tackle and drives for 3, and he stopped. They get 2 yards to the 9-yard line. Greg Butler and Burgess Owens combine to stop him. It'll be 2nd and 8 at the 9-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. Good defensive pursuit by the Jets on that last play.
And another good heads-up play out there by the rest of the linebacking crew also. Mike Hennigan and John Hennessy, all of them in on the play. It's a good time for the Jets to come up with a fine defensive effort, as you say, to keep these Bills holed up.
2nd and 8 at the 9-yard line. They're in the regular pro set. The backs side by side this time. Johnson and Miller. Ferguson under the center. Takes the snap. Goes back to the goal line. A pass. Sets up to look at the throw. Over to the right side. And is caught at the 25-yard line. Dancing around down there is Len Willis. And he makes the grab at the 25. He's hit down there at the 25. He ran a pretty route that time along the sideline and curled back in. And Joe Ferguson, with time at the goal line, hit him with that football. A bullet shot thrown right to him at the 27-yard line is where they place it down.
And great timing as far as the receiver goes and the quarterback. The quarterback putting the ball exactly in the area of that dead spot, and the receiver coming back to it. Hardly a chance for the play to be knocked down by the Jet defense.
It's 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. They're out of their own deep territory now. They got some room. Signals being called. The regular pro set. Hand off to Terry Miller, running a power sweep off right tackle. Hit at the line of scrimmage, but he drives up to the 30. He picks up 3. Bob Martin made the initial hit. 10 minutes and 5 seconds to go in this football game. The Jets lead by 1 point, 14-13. Tom Dempsey, currently the GOAT in this football game, as he kicked the extra point that hit the right upright and bounced back for a failure to make the point after. And once they get within field goal range, Dempsey, as you know, can boot it a long way. He's the man who kicked that 63-yarder for New Orleans a number of years ago to set the record in the NFL. It's 2nd and 7 at the 30-yard line. Willis and Lewis split wide. Back to pass now. Ferguson sets, throws angry on the right side, and it's incomplete. at the midfield line. Bobby Jackson defending on the play. So it'll be 3rd and 7 at the 30-yard line.
And they're working on Bob Jackson. That last play that was complete was to Bobby Jackson to get the first down. He didn't have that good of throw that time. Ferguson didn't. He didn't throw the ball well at all. He was open. The receiver was open. There's no question about it, but the ball was not placed exactly right. Here are 2 fourth-quarter scores off the Hess scoreboard. In the fourth quarter, Miami 35, Baltimore nothing. And here's one for you in the fourth quarter, San Diego 20, Oakland 7. Oakland may drop its first 2 games of the season. Now it's 3rd and 7 at the 30-yard line. One of the key plays of the ball game coming up. Lou Patona's in at wide receiver at the right side. Ferguson back to pass. He needs this first down. Throws to the side, and he's got the first down. Reuben Gant is forced out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Reuben Gant wide open as the tight end to the left side into the left flat. It was 3rd and 7. He made the 7 and more up to the 44-yard line, and one of the Bills is hurt. Can't make out who it is right now. It's not Ferguson. He's on his feet. It might be Frank Lewis, the wide receiver. And time is called for just a moment. Time is out on the field with the score. New York Jets 14, Buffalo Bills 13. Let's take a sponsor break for Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York.
Do you know how to keep dental bills from taking a big bite out of your family's budget? Just sign up for the special group dental plan being offered right now by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York. It's called the Community Dental Plan for company groups as few as 3 employees. Ask about this program where you work. Once you join, you'll start getting the preventive and diagnostic dental care you and your family's teeth need without spending a lot of money. The Community Dental Plan covers bills for x-rays, fillings, cleanings, twice-a-year checkups, and more. It also lets you go to any dentist you want. Don't let big dental bills wreck your family's budget. Ask your employer if you're eligible to sign up for the Community Dental Plan from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York. Or for more information, write to WOR Radio, 1440 Broadway, New York, 10018. That's the Community Dental Plan, care of WOR Radio, 1440 Broadway, New York, 10018.
That's Reggie McKenzie, number 67, the all-pro guard out of Michigan, walking to the sidelines. He was shaken up, but he looks as though he'll be able to come back into this ball game after a minute or 2. Meanwhile, there are 9 minutes and 25 seconds left to go in this football game. The Jets lead by 1. The Bills have the ball. First down coming up on their 44.
And it's unfortunate Reggie did get hurt, but it's not going to affect that offensive line that much, seeing how the Jets are going totally, as they always have, with the 3-4 defense. Nobody lined head up on that left guard where Reggie was coming from.
Bill Adams replaces him in the lineup for the Buffalo Bills. It's 1st and 10 at the 44. The regular pro set, the back side by side, back of their tackles. Signals called by Joe Ferguson. Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff. Goes back to pass. Rolling to his right. Looks downfield. Stops now. He throws long. Way downfield. Way down. It is almost intercepted by Burgess Owens. Incomplete at the 2-yard line. Way down, intended for Len Willis. And Burgess Owens had leaped high in the air, had both hands on the ball, but he banged into the intended receiver, Willis, at the same time, and the pass fell incomplete. That ball was thrown 60 yards.
That was a long foul ball. It's what I call those type passes. He threw it on the run, and there was plenty of coverage. It took so long to get there that the reaction by the Jet defense was to be expected. The guy that's hurting them the most, though, is Reuben Gant. It appears that he has completely confused Schaefer Suggs out there from his defensive strong safety. His primary responsibility is to stop that tight end, and Gant has been open throughout the day.
Kind of indicates to me perhaps a loss of patience on the part of Chuck Knox, looking for that bomb at this juncture when he's been chewing up the yardage, giving away that kind of a down on that desperation type pass. We'll see. 2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line. Backs are side by side. Signals being called. Ferguson takes it, goes back to pass on 2nd and 10, throws out to the right flat. It's taken out by Johnson. He's got blockers. Cuts back to the left side. He tries to elude men. He's pulled down at the 45-yard line. A 1-yard gain on the play. Mike Hennigan made the tackle.
And hustle by Larry Pillars from his defensive end spot. Larry, I saw him run a legitimate 4.840, and he's big boy. He weighs about 250 pounds, so he's got good speed from his defensive end spot. Read the screen, got out there, and forced the runner back in, enabling the linebacker Hennigan to make the play.
It's 3rd and 9 at the 45. A crowd of 41,000 here at Rich Stadium this afternoon. The attendance precisely 40,985. This is a key 3rd down play. 3rd and 9 at the 45. They made it the last time with 3rd and 7 to Reuben Gant. It's 3rd and 9 at the 45. Ferguson goes back to pass, sets up, looking to throw. He does to the right side, and it's caught for the first down, and Lou Picone. Lou Picone makes the grab at the 45 of the Jets. Bobby Jackson covering. The ex-Jet, Lou Picone, comes up with a big, big play.
And I think they're looking for help. Jackson's looking for help from his linebacker, Drake Tuttle. Drake was not able to get to the flight of the ball underneath the receiver exactly in time, and the ball was thrown very well, very hard by the quarterback, Joe Ferguson, having an outstanding day throwing the football. Right now it looks like he's 16 out of 24. No, excuse me, he's 17 out of 25. So he's doing a real fine job throwing that football.
And he's picked up a total of 168 yards, none more important than the last 10 yards when he needed 9 for the first down. 1st and 10 of the Jets, 45. Ferguson takes it, hands off to Miller, runs off left tackle, breaks down on the cliff of the ball down to the 40 to the 35, and he's down to the 32-yard line. A brilliant run, a quick off-tackle smash, down to the 32. Schaefer Suggs made the tackle. The play was good for 13 yards, another first down. The Buffalo Bills have really come alive after a sluggish start starting the second half. Yet they still trail the Jets by 1, 14 to 13. 7 minutes and 59 seconds to go in this football game, and the clock is running.
And right now, they are within field goal range. If Dempsey hits it straight, he's got the leg to put it that far. It would be a 50-yard field goal if they kicked it right now.
Bills have had the ball more than 5 minutes on this current drive. It's 1st and 10 at the 32. It's a double wing formation. Back to pass is Ferguson, looking downfield to throw long. He does down to the goal line. It's in for a touchdown! Touchdown! Larry Walton grabbed it at the goal line and went in. Touchdown! The Buffalo Bills have gone ahead. The Buffalo Bills now lead 19 to 14. Burgess Owens defending on the play, but he got beat. And this crowd here of 50,000 is just going wild.
And rightfully so, they should go wild, Marty. I don't think that I would have believed if somebody told me that the general squad of the New York Jets would play a flat ball game throughout the 60 minutes. But generally, that's what's happened.
A 93-yard drive for these Bills. They started from their own 7, you recall. Here's the point after attempt coming up. Dempsey missed the last one. Snap placed down and threw this up, and this one is good. The score, the Buffalo Bills 20, the New York Jets 14. Tom Dempsey ready to kick off. There are 7 minutes and 34 seconds remaining in this football game. Still plenty of time with the Jets trailing by only 6. They were leading 14 to 13. It's now 20 to 14. Listen to this crowd. Let's listen.
They're being led out there by the cheerleader, is Len Willis on the special team. He's got the crowd to their feet, raising his arms up and down, getting the crowd up and cheering, and they're certainly responding to him.
Here's the kick by Tom Dempsey. He puts that ball a low floater again. Harper gets it at the 12, up to the 20, angles to the right side of the 25. Looks to cut back. He's dancing back and forth, goes to the 30-yard line, hit down at the 30. Good run back by Bruce Harper again, and Tom Ehlers, a reserve linebacker, made the tackle at the 30-yard line. And now the New York Jets offensive unit just must come alive if they're to win this ball game.
They've got to come alive if they're going to win this ball game. There's a lot of time left, 7 minutes and 24 seconds, but they've got to put the ball, and they've got to use some precision passing and precision running, which they haven't done generally throughout the game.
It's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line of the New York Jets. Time remaining 7 minutes and 24 seconds. Wes Walker flanks wide out to the right side. Derek Gaffney split wide left. Jerking and Long are the running backs. Richard Todd at quarterback. Gives off to Long. Long up the middle, goes for 2. That's all. Up to the 32-yard line. Off his own left guard, and Lucius Sanford made the stop.
And these Buffalo Bills are inspired, Marty. They are really hitting out there, and I don't think the running plays are going to get it, especially the running plays up the middle, as the Jets have tried so often to make something happen up the middle. They've gone for distance, but they haven't really broken the rubber band. They've not really put together a sustained drive running the football up the middle. They're going to have to get outside and or throw the football.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line of the Jets. The Jets trailing in the ball game 20 to 14. 6:49 to go in the game. Todd swiveling his head from right to left. Goes back to pass on 2nd down. Setting up. Throws deep down to the right side. Way down to Gaffney. Intercepted. Intercepted by the man covering Derek Gaffney in the play. I think it was Clark. It was Mario Clark who was covering Gaffney at the 35-yard line, 40-yard line rather, of the Buffalo Bills, and the Bills have the ball at their 40-yard line. Gaffney was perfectly covered by Clark. They ran down the sideline together, and at the last moment, Clark turned, and the ball hit him in the stomach, and he made the grab.
And the ball was underthrown. Again, Richard Todd throwing the football underneath the intended receiver. He had Gaffney. Gaffney might not have been able to catch the ball, but he had to lead him more. And Gaffney doesn't have that deceptive speed. They've been working together all this time. It's just the fact that Todd is not throwing that well.
Larry Walton split wide to the left side. Little Lou Picone flanked wide to the right side. 5'9", 175 pounds Picone. The handoff goes to Miller. Miller tries to swing right around his own left end. Cuts the field, picks up 5 up to the 45-yard line, and Bob Martin makes the tackle. It'll be 2nd and 5 at the 45. Time remaining 6 minutes and 25 seconds. Buffalo leads by 6, 20 to 14. Now Len Willis comes into the lineup, bringing the next play from Coach Chuck Knott.
And that enthusiasm is getting the yards for the Buffalo Bills. It's not that they're blocking any better, or not that they're doing anything that much better, but they're doing it more enthusiastically, and that's what's pushing the Jets back, the enthusiasm of the Buffalo Bills.
It's 2nd and 5 at the 45-yard line. These Bills look like the Jets did a week ago against Miami. Blanco wide to the right side, split left end. Running backs of the 2 rookies, Johnson and Miller. The handoff to Miller, runs off right tackle, goes for 3 yards. A penalty marker on the play. Thrown by the head linesman. And we'll wait and see what the call is.
I think I know what it is. I think they're going to call number 73 holding again. And number 73, of course, is the left offensive tackle, Frank Jones. I believe that's what they're going to call.
That's what it is. 2nd and 15 at the 35-yard line. Ferguson, this second half, is 9 for 12 for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's not bad. He's 18 for 26 in the game for 207 yards. He's hit 7 different receivers.
Holding number 73 offense.
That's Ken Jones again, called for holding, so it's 2nd and 15 at the 35-yard line. 5 minutes and 51 seconds remain in this football game. The Jets are trailing 20 to 14. The Jets did lead 14 to 13, but Buffalo went 93 yards for their touchdown. The Bills 20, the Jets 14. 2nd and 15 for the Bills on their own 35-yard line. Joe Ferguson, quarterback all the way. Signal's called. He takes it. Takes the handoff. He's back to pass and setting up. Throws angling to the left side. And it's almost intercepted by Schaefer Suggs and knocked away at the midfield line, at the near sideline. An angle pass intended for Dennis Johnson, the fullback. But Schaefer Suggs cut in behind him, leaped high in the air. The ball slipped through his fingers and fell incomplete at midfield. So it'll be 3rd and 15 at the 35-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. And the Jets have to hold the Bills to less than 15 to get possession of the football in this next play.
But very much in the football game are the Jets. If they can hold them here, they're going to get the football back with plenty of time to go. But they've got to do better on offense. They've got to be more precise in their passing game than they've been before thus far today.
Well, they have Lou Picone split out to the left side. The Bills do. Flank wide to the right side is Len Willis. 3rd and long at the 35. Let's see what quarterback Joe Ferguson comes up with here. Almost surely a pass play. Long count. He's back to pass. Sets up now to throw. Throws out to the right flat. It's caught by Johnson at the 40, and he's down at the 43-yard line by Greg Buttle, and that forces the punt coming up. The play picked up 8 yards, making it 4th and 7 at the 43 of the Buffalo Bills, and the New York Jets will get possession of that football, and Bruce Harper goes back there to receive that punt. The punting has been quite inconsistent by Rusty Jackson of the Bills today. McKenzie is back in the lineup. Reggie McKenzie back in at guard. Signals are called. 10-man rush by the New York Jets. The snap, here's the kick. He gets it away, almost straight up in the air, coming downfield at the 22-yard, fumble momentarily. And Bruce Harper wisely falls on that football at the 23-yard line. A 35-yard punt. An end-over-end kick, not very good, but fumbled momentarily by Bruce Harper, who fell on the ball, and the Jets have it, 1st and 10 on their 23. 5 minutes and 1 second remain in this ball game, and the Jets are down. The score, Buffalo 20, the Jets 14. Let's have 60 seconds of all the ways that a Datsun is driven.
Why are car shoppers everywhere deciding on Datsun? Listen to new Datsun B210 buyer Tom Novotarski.
And it turned out to be a super, super deal. Some of the things that are standard features on a Datsun are options on a lot of other cars.
Tom, when Datsun says we are driven, what does that mean to you?
They are driven to provide something that people are really going to be happy with.
How do you like your new B210, Linda Rank?
I like how it handles. I like the gas mileage. I like how it looks.
Matthew Sack, you just bought a 510 wagon. How do you like the room?
It's great. Tied in with the economy, it's just beautiful.
How about performance?
Quick and responsive, and you don't even feel like it's station wagon.
Hurry in today and get a year-end deal on famous Datsun quality. We are dealing.
Right now, your Datsun dealer is making his best deals of the year on the best all-around Datsun, the 510. Hatchback, wagon, and sedans. There's never been a better time to buy a Datsun.
First and 10 at the 23. Todd back to pass on first down. Throws it out to the right side to Durkin. Over the 25 to 30 to 32. Fumble. Loose ball. Recovered by Durkin. Durkin recovers his own fumble. Enough to pick up the first down, by the way. A forward fumble of about 2 yards. And he's got the first down at the 34-yard line. Play began at the 23, so it's first and 10 at the 34 for the New York Jets. And Durkin and Long go to the sidelines, and Gaines and Harper come back in to replace them.
And the way they're covering their wide receivers and a tight end thus in the game, they're going to have to, Richard Todd's going to have to use his halfbacks and setbacks coming out of the backfield in the passing game.
High formation in the backfield. Gaines in front of Harper at the 34-yard line of the Jets. Back to pass goes Todd, setting up, being rushed hard, being thrown for a big loss. Back to the 20-yard line. Number 83, Sherman White, came charging in, and he made the play. Jonas Johnson also in on the tackle, but it was Sherman White, first man to get to quarterback Richard Todd. A big loss back to the 21-yard line, a 13-yard loss.
And a big play by Sherman White, knowing very well that Chris Ward is going to have his problems throughout the year at times. Every week he goes out to play football, it's going to be a new man he's facing, somebody he's never played against before. And Sherman White is kind of doing a job in the passing game against Chris Ward.
2 long losses executed by Sherman White. It's second and 23 at the 21-yard line. Gaines and Harper, the running backs. Todd under the quarterback and calling signals. Looks like an automatic. Takes it, goes back to pass. Harper going downfield. He runs with the ball. Todd, now he throws, and it's incomplete. Too low. Intended downfield for Derek Gaffney, and it's incomplete. Tony Green was defending on the play. The ball was underthrown, thrown low, short. He started the run, came up almost to the line of scrimmage, and then fired the ball.
Is there a word that rhymes with discombobulated? Because that's what the Jets look like right now. They're completely out of sync entirely on offense. That pass was 2 guys right in line, 2 receivers right in line, and the ball was thrown very, very low and skipping and hopping along the way. It's just not good execution on the passing game.
Discombobulate, perambulate, no. Third and 23 at the 21-yard line. Tough spot for Richard Todd of the New York Jets. A sure pass coming up. And once that ball is thrown, anybody can grab it. Back to pass is Todd, setting up the throw, and he throws down the middle. It's caught. Good for the first. No, not quite the first down. Wes Walker makes the grab at the 42-yard line, and he is 2 yards shy of a first down. They had so much yardage, they only picked up 21 of the 23 yards necessary. The tackle was made by Tony Green, and now time is called by the officials. Time is out. Boy, wait a second. Almost momentarily. Now play is about to be resumed. The Jets are going for it. It's 4th and 2. 4th and 2. Here's one of the big plays of the season. 4th and 2 at the 42. They need 2 yards. Signals being called. Todd under the center and calling them. 4th and 2. He goes back to pass. Sets up. Throws out to the right side. It's good for the first down. A diving catch made by Scott Durkin. Good for the first down at the 45-yard line. A diving catch. The pass was badly thrown. It was thrown low and wide. And Durkin, running a down-and-out pattern, a short square route, had a dive for that ball, made a rolling catch for the first down.
Just a superb effort by a pretty good little athlete out there. Scott can run the football, and he showed that he can catch the football under adverse conditions because the ball was very, very poorly thrown, as you say.
At the 46-yard line of the Jets, it's first down, 40 yards, first and 10 of the Jets, 46. They trail 20 to 14. Back to pass is Todd. Throws down the middle, and it's caught by Walker at the 36. No! Did he grab the ball?
I'm not sure. I think it's complete. It is complete, Marty. He was hit. The ball came loose, and as he was falling down, he re-caught the ball, so he caught it twice.
That's what happened. He went up in the air, grabbed the ball, had it hit. The ball popped up in the air for just a moment. He reached up as he was falling down and grabbed it again. It's at the 36-yard line of the Bills. Time remaining 2 minutes and 1 second. We're at the 2-minute mark, and the 2-minute mark comes with the Jets having a first down on the Buffalo Bills 36-yard line. At the 2-minute mark here in this stadium, the score, Buffalo 20, New York 14. It's been a wild football game. Right now, the score is Buffalo 20, the New York Jets 14. 2 minutes remain in the game. The Jets have a first down on the Bills' 36-yard line. Seesaw all the way. The first score coming on an 86-yard interception of a pass by Charles Romes. Made it 7-0 Bills. The Jets came back to score on a deflected pass thrown from Todd to Barkham, tied it at 7-7. Then a 36-yard pass, Todd to Gaffney, made it 14-7 Jets at the start of the third quarter. A 63-yard drive. And a missed point after by Tom Dempsey made it 14-13. And then a 93-yard drive by the Buffalo Bills put the Bills out in front by a score of 20-14, where it is right now. The touchdown coming on a 32-yard pass from Ferguson to Walton. So it's been wild, and here we are in the final 2 minutes.
And he's got to put the ball in the air. He cannot run the ball. They haven't run that well today, and it's going to take too much time, so they've got to throw it in the air. And I think the thing to do would be to go to that tight end. If that tight end is not opening, come to your setbacks and have him get out of bounds. But put the ball in the air.
Well, the Jets show some spark as they go to the line of scrimmage. First and 10 at the 36-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. The Jets trailing by 6, 20-14. Regular pro set. Signals are being called. Gaines and Harper on the running backs now. Todd goes back to pass on first down. Steps into the pocket. Throws down the middle. It's caught by Gaffney at the 8. No, he's jarred loose from the ball. He had the ball. They ruled it an incomplete pass. It's ruled an incomplete pass.
I'll tell you, the officials are going to have problems getting out of this stadium if they keep things going like that. It's a correct call. It's a judgment call by the officials. He's right on the spot, but the crowd and the Buffalo bench do not agree with the last two calls that the officials have made.
Had they ruled it a completed pass, it would have been recovered on a fumble by the Buffalo Bills. But it's ruled an incomplete pass at the 18-yard line. Incomplete. So it's 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line. Scott Durkin is back on the lineup, replacing Bruce Harper. 2nd and 10 at the 36. Time remaining 1:51. Signals being called by Todd. Michael wide to the right side is Walker. Split left end. Gaffney back to pass is Todd. Being rushed hard. He throws on the run. It's stopped by one of the Bills. Again, Mario Clark had the ball right in his hands, intended for Wes Walker. The ball hit the chest of Mario Clark, and he just dropped it at the 25-yard line. On the play, Todd was very heavily pressured. Had all he could do to get rid of that football and threw it poorly.
And they were pressured by Dennis Johnson, the second Dennis Johnson on his football squad. He's in a defensive tackle position, rushing very, very strong. He's a good pass rusher, and that's what they're going to use him for. In situations where they need the big pass rush, Dennis Johnson will come in, and he's in there now.
It's 3rd and 10 at the 36-yard line. 1 minute and 46 seconds to go in the ball game. Buffalo leads 20-14. The Jets threaten on every play. They're 6 points down at the 36 of the Bills. Todd calling signals. 3rd down. 3rd and 10. He goes back to pass, Todd does. Again, the big rush. He throws it deep down to the left side, way down for Gaffney. He's got it at the 5. He's in at the 4. He stopped at the 4-yard line. It's 1st and goal to go at the 4. Time remaining 1 minute and 32 seconds.
Now that was a Todd of last week. That was a well-thrown football. He hit the outside seam, and he's right between the deep coverage and the short coverage. A well-thrown football. Timeout by the New York Jets.
Time is out. 1 minute and 30 to go in the game. The score, Buffalo 20, the New York Jets 14. Let's take a WOR sponsor break for Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer.
For all we've shared, the good times and the laughter, after all that we've been through, no other beer will do. But on Decker, we go so well together, me and you. And on Decker,
No other beer uses more costly ingredients than Ondecker. The choicest barley and the richest imported hops give Ondecker its distinctive smooth taste. Ondecker, the most expensive taste in beer.
After all that we've been through, no other beer will do.
First and goal to go for New York Jets at the 4-yard line. A tight wing T formation. Handoff goes to Durkin. Durkin drives off the guard, goes down to the 3-yard line, and he stopped. The 3 or 2.5-yard line. The clock is running, shows 1 minute and 22 seconds, and the clock continues to run. The Jets are down by 6 points. Tony Green and Doug Jones, the safety men, came up to make the tackle. It's exactly 2.5 yards out. The tail of the football is resting right near the 3-yard hash mark. So it's second and goal to go, 2.5 yards away. The Jets break the huddle and go to the line of scrimmage. The ball is right on the right hash mark. Driving to our right. A wing T formation, a tight wing T. The running backs are Durkin and Long. Signals being called by Todd. The clock is running, shows 54 seconds. Back to pass goes Todd. He throws over the middle. Touchdown! Touchdown! The Jets have scored with G. Barkham. A fake handoff into the line. Barkham slipped through. They threw over the line. The ball game is tied at 20. Here comes the point after attempt.
And you knew it was going to happen, Marty, the way he set up that play-action pass, and that's how he scored last week against the Miami Dolphins, except last week he used Shooter. This time he used Jerome Barkham. Play-action pass to his tight end. A good call by Richard Todd.
50 seconds to go in this football game. The teams are lining up for the point after. Matt Robinson will hold. Pat Leahy will kick. It's all tied at 20. Now signals are being called. They're set. Ball is snap. Place down is kicked. It's up. It is good. It's good. The Jets lead 21-20. Wow. The score, the New York Jets 21, the Buffalo Bills 20. Let's have 60 seconds of banking from European American Bank.
Think about this. If you run a small business, European American Bank has a way you can have money instantly. Money to use for whatever your business needs, whenever you need it. It's called European American Bank's Small Business Credit Account, and you don't have to be an EAB customer to get it. Qualify, and you can get a line of credit from $5,000 to $25,000. It's money you can use instantly for inventory, expansion, seasonal needs. Once you qualify, there's no waiting for bank approval when you need money, and no lost profit opportunities because you didn't have enough money available. You just write a business credit account check. And when you have EAB's Small Business Credit Account, you only pay for the credit you use. You can also pay back any time or take up to 60 months. So come into any of EAB's 97 branches, and we'll explain how the business credit account can put money in your hands when you need it. The Small Business Credit Account at European American Bank. Think about it. Member FDIC.
There is still 50 seconds left to go in this football game. The New York Jets are out in front by a score of 21-20. Dave and I will be on hand after the game to talk football with you. Not much to talk about, folks, right? Area code 212 is the number to call. 391-2800. That's 391-2800. Here's the kick by Leahy. He boots that ball. It's high and very deep coming down to Curtis Brown. He gets it at the 3. Runs it up. Angles to the left. Over to the near side of the 15, the 20. And he's down to the 21, 22-yard line. Bob Raber made the tackle at the 22. Remember, Tom Dempsey can kick that football a long, long way. He kicked 163 yards once. He also missed a point after today.
And also, Joe Ferguson can throw the football. He's got a strong, strong arm, and he can really throw the football. He's 19 out of 28 today for 215 yards. But you know you're going to see the ball up in the air. You just got to know that he's going to go deep as well, at least the 4 times.
They go to the line of scrimmage due to the Buffalo Bills. Lewis flanked wide out to the right side. Walton split wide to the left side. Running backs are Johnson and Miller. Signals being called. 3-man rush. A long count. Now he goes back to pass. Fakes a handoff. Looking downfield. Has plenty of time. Now he throws. Angling to the left. Intercepted by Suggs. Suggs has the ball to the 50, the 41 on the near side. 1 man a beat. And he's hit down by that 1 man. That 1 man being Joe Ferguson at about the 30-yard line. And it'll be Jets ball, and the ball game is now virtually over. It's virtually over right here.
And a big play by Suggs to knock that ball off. But I don't think that Ferguson really had an opportunity to throw the football. When you're throwing into that 8-man defensive secondary and they're covering so deep, it's an extremely difficult and almost impossible situation to move the ball for the touchdown.
The score clock shows 12 seconds left, and the Jets are out in front 21-20. Would you say, even before we sign off, before the post-game show, that the Jets have been fortunate today?
Oh, very fortunate. And that's what I got to tell you, that's the sign of a good team. If you can overcome the things that I didn't think would happen to them. I didn't think they'd be flat at all. I didn't see how in the world they could be flat, but they didn't play that well, and they still come out a winner.
That's right. Look at this formation. I've never seen this ever before. 7 men at the line of scrimmage, and they all huddle around Todd as they snap the ball, and Todd falls on the ball, and time is called with 10 seconds to go. I don't know what the Buffalo Bills think they can do, but time is out right now. Don't forget the number to call is area code 212-391-2800. They still have a couple of timeouts left, but there won't be time enough for them to do anything, as the Jets can run that ball for 3 more plays, and that'll be all up.
And all they can do is hope that there's a bad exchange between the center field and the quarterback, Todd, because they're not going to hand the ball off, so they're just going to make him do it 2 more times.
What you said is so important, though, Dave. When a ball club can play below par, play poorly most of the game, and still win, that's the sign of a pretty good potential.
That sign of good potential is right. You would not expect an experienced team to do this, and I didn't expect the youthful team that the Jets have to come out and perform this way, but they did, and they got away with it, and I think it's something to grow on, because when they look at the film, they're going to have a lot to look at.
Again, this unusual formation with 7 men on the line of scrimmage tight, and then Todd just backs off and sits down, and the clock shows 8 seconds to go, and again, timeout is called by the Buffalo Bills. They'll run 1 more play, another timeout perhaps, and then on the 4th down play, there's no timeout available, so the Jets will just run the ball.
And they certainly will. And I guess you got to give credit to Chuck Knox. He's using every available avenue to try and do something with his football game. It's one that he thought he had and one that I thought he had, but it's stripped away from him.
It's 21-20. We'll run down all the scores as soon as this ball game is ended off the Hess scoreboard. 3rd down coming up. 3rd and about 12 because Todd is backing up on each play. He takes it, and now he falls down again at the 15-yard line. And the clock is running down to the 6-second mark, and that's all. That's the last timeout to be called by the Buffalo Bills. That's all they've got. And on this next play, there can be no timeout, but the ball can change hands. So the Jets might have to run that ball sideline to sideline for 4 seconds. 6 seconds, rather.
I don't know. I'd like to see them.
The Bills can actually have 1 more play.
They actually can, because I don't know how they're going to stop the clock, and they can't get their players. In fact, the players are not even looking to go on the field. The offensive unit is just standing around with their helmets off and their hats in their hands, and they're not looking to get on there. But they actually could, though.
Because the Bills, the clock is stopped when the ball exchanges hands. And Todd backs off and falls down at the 40-yard line now. 2 seconds, and the clock is stopped. 1 second. The clock is stopped. The Bills have the ball for 1 play. And they don't seem to be ready for it.
They're not ready for it.
They have 1 play coming up here at the 40-yard line, and here it is. Now, I don't know what they can do about it. They're going to be 11 defensive players spread out all over the field. Well, they can't kick a field goal from...
The first thing they got to do is get 11 offensive people on the field of play. They're not there. They're just jogging on the field very, very slowly. He just put the ball, this is one of these things you hope and pray. A lot of things can happen now. You could get a penalty. They could throw a deep ball, and you can get a pass interference penalty. A lot of things could happen.
Here we see the Jets have 3 men at the line of scrimmage and 8 men spread from the Bills 40 to the Jets 25.
It looks like they look when they're taking exercise to start the ball game.
Oh, when they receive a kickoff. Well, here's the last play with 1 second to go. The Jets are leading 21-20. And play must be completed. Ferguson goes back to pass, looking downfield to throw, and he throws long way down the left side, way downfield, going out of bounds. And the ball game is over. The Jets have won it. They've won one of the wildest football games I've ever seen. Not well played from the Jets' point of view at all. They fought it out, they lucked it out, and they won it. That's the end of the game, and the score, the New York Jets 21, the Buffalo Bills 20. Our engineer for this afternoon's game has been Lou Shea. Spotters were Greg Schmaltz of the Herald News in Passaic, New Jersey, and Dick Reifenberg of WBEN in Buffalo. Operational supervisor in New York City, Al Randall. Director-producer, Jim McAleer.